then turns out he's still blind. Speaking of dumb shit, welcome to Big Damn Cast. I'm Big Damn Chris.
I am Big Damn Matt.
And we have got things of which to speak. We've got our Alien Covenant review coming up shortly.
Oh, you lucky buggers! You did it, you swines!
We're also going to be finishing our Alien recap, because we've got some filth, some good stuff, and some baffling shit to talk about.
I'm gonna rub it all over you.
Plus,
in a good way.
I'm glad I prepared.
Not in a sexy way though. I'm a qualified masseuse.
All right, yeah, that's the excuse we all use.
I don't do happy endings.
Oh, there's this week's title.
Oh no, I've got a better one.
Oh, fair enough. Oh, well.
Discuss this.
Plus, we've got your emails as well. Toward the end, we'll talk about the shit you always wanted to talk about, which is this week's Doctor. But first, I feel sick.
Why do you feel sick?
I feel sick because two significant trailers dropped the last couple of days.
One makes me feel good, and one makes me feel...
We didn't say a word there because we showed a tiny little visual, a little picture that somehow we feel. I still can't find the emoji for someone being violently sick.
I think that's
into a child's eyes.
I think it evoking that reaction in me is it doesn't have that capability. It's not.
You were buzzing until we finished watching it, and then
No.
it was like your soul had
No.
been smacked in the face.
No.
It was so strange.
Well,
let's
talk about the good one first.
Yeah, let's talk about the good. Let's on this seesaw of terror. Let's talk about the good one, which is War of the Planet of the Apes.
War for the Planet.
Is it War for the Planet of the Apes?
War for the Planet of the Apes.
Warsaw, the Planet of the Apes.
Probably, which will be a
Worcestershire
callback.
sauce on the Planet of the Apes.
Yes,
they're fighting for sauce.
It'll be a callback to Battle for the Planet of the Apes.
Will it?
Yeah, because that's one of the old Battle of the Apes, Planet of the Apes films.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes,
it is.
So War of the Planet...
It's Planet of the Apes, Beneath the Planet of the Apes, Escape from the Planet of the Apes, Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, Battle for the Planet of the Apes, I think.
Then Tim Burton presents The Fuck Is This of the Apes?
Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes with Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
What? No!
Oh, the Funky Bunch.
So, here's the important part, Matthew. Yeah! This is the third movie in this trilogy. Yeah! Matt Reeves directing. Yeah! Does it look good? Yeah! You alright there? No! Are you a cereal mascot or something now?
No!
Eat your flakes, kid! Eat your ape flakes!
I'll eat you!
It's just a terrifying giant ape with a bowl of cereal. It's like thinking the monkey from Cocoa Pops has gone rogue.
Yeah. What is that monkey called?
Is he Coco?
Is he Coco?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Write your letters and answers in on a
What's that monkey
postcard,
called
please.
from Cocoa Pops?
What the hell is that monkey called? And would he rather have a bowl of Cocoa Pops?
Yeah, probably.
Probably. I mean,
he'd rather have a bowl of Choco Krispies.
Oh God, do you remember that?
Yeah.
That was weird, wasn't it?
I'd rather have a bowl of Choco Krispies. But anyway, Wolf the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. In this movie, the brave noble ape tries to get a crocodile in a waistcoat away from his cereal, and that's pretty much it. Looks good. 10 out of 10.
War for the Planet of the Choco Krispies.
So
yeah, this looks alright. I mean,
Caesar's looking old and haggard.
He is.
No, but he's looking worn out and stressed.
He's
more
looking
than anything.
broken.
Yeah, he's a broken man ape.
He's a broken ape after the events of the last movie.
Yeah.
You know, the apes are trying to build their civilization in peace, and those pesky humans just keep trying to kill them.
Yeah, because the last one was about there was conflict, wasn't there?
Yeah,
but...
and they started working together.
Yeah,
and then it was Cobra.
Cobra, yeah,
like
Toby Kebbell's
incited conflict.
Character. Yeah.
It was, and it looks like this just sparked into full-on war from that.
It's got to the point where humanity has just decided, look, their disease is what started to kill us off, so we're just going to kill them, because if they're the next step, we refuse to let it happen.
Which makes no sense to me.
No.
Hey.
But led by Woody Harrelson's delightfully psychotic-looking character, who sort of... It looks like this series has its second villain, which is something I never really thought would happen based on the first one. The first one is this weirdly touching sci-fi cautionary tale.
Yeah.
And then the second one was a sort of scary sci-fi action movie with a bad guy monkey in it. Sorry, ape. And then...
Racist.
This one is... Apist.
Apist.
No, hang on. No, wait. None of that.
No.
Whereas this one, again, sort of looks similar, but the tables have turned. It's more about, like, can we get along? No, too late. The humans have already turned against us, and they're being led by a nutter.
Humans were the real monsters all along!
That sounded like a direct line advert. Yeah. Humans were the real monsters all along.
Presenting a cautionary tale
Monkey Dust presents
with a moral centre.
Starring Peter Dixon as Caesar. No! He says as he stares out Tom Felton.
Apes together, strong!
Oh, Christ. But I like this trailer. It sort of feels like this franchise has gone a route of being a bit less attention-seeky. Like, it almost feels like the second one and this one have come out with relatively little fanfare compared to most blockbusters and franchises.
Yeah.
But
there's not the hype machine that surrounds it in the same way there is for everything else.
But that was sort of the same with the first one as well.
It kind of came out of nowhere.
Rise of the Planet of the Apes. So, Rise, Dawn, War. Looks like we've got a pretty solid trilogy. Can't wait to see it.
Are we getting actual Planet of the Apes is the ship going to come back?
That would be cool. Yeah, because it's in the news report, isn't it, in the first one? So they set up the events of the story we know. We were talking about this before. Like, I think how they should do it is there should be a definitive end to Caesar's story,
which should be this movie.
In this,
they shouldn't do another.
Well, not with Caesar, at least.
Yeah, well, maybe
because
I
think
like.
There's only so many times you can tell the story of I'm trying to get along and it's not happening. Leave us alone. Like, there's only so many times you do that before you've got to get to the point where the apes are now the dominant species, full outright. They're not like a village or a society. They have the planet. So you've got to time hop. May as well time hop a couple 100 years into the future as your, wormhole misled shuttle crash lands on a suspicious planet. The difference this time is if you remake Planet of the Apes, you've earned it by this point because you'll have done 3 solid movies that have made us go, we like how you guys tell stories.
Yeah.
I think we'll welcome a remake of it as well after the last one was so obviously missing the point of it.
That ending, though, wasn't that ending just great?
Yeah.
That was a great...
When I read it in Chasing Dogma.
That was a great modern twist on the classic ending of Planet of the Apes.
Oh, God. But that's the thing. This time we'd be going into a Planet of the Apes film knowing the twist ending. So I think if you're remaking it, you don't do the twist. Like, in the traditional sense. You don't have your human character be the protagonist.
To be fair...
Oh, shit! What if the remake is from the ape's point of view instead? That would be cool. That would be pretty cool, because then it would be a parallel sort of watch to the
original.
Cut
this bit out of the podcast and start writing it. And we'll shop it.
It's a Fox movie, right?
Oh, fuck Fox.
They'll cancel the meeting.
Yeah.
They'll cancel the meeting and then get rid of all footage.
This never happens.
Bastards. So, yeah. I say that. The majority of the things we're going to be talking about in this week's pod are Fox.
Oh, no.
Damn it.
So much Fox.
Well, that's alright. There are other movie studios out there, Matt. Like Sony. Sony are good eggs, right?
Sony Pictures Animation?
Yeah, oh shit.
What have they made that's good?
Well...
Actually, both the Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs movies are pretty damn good.
Yeah, not bad. And,
there's a leak in the boat.
But Sony have released the trailer, the first full trailer for their latest animated film, which is out relatively soon, isn't it?
It's too soon.
Oh, God.
It's unavoidable at this point.
So...
It's inevitable.
When we first spoke about this on the podcast, the movie was already happening, but I remember us talking about it IRL, as the kids say.
The kids don't say that anymore, they just use little weird faces.
That's true. About a year prior, we talked about there being an Emoji Movie being in the works.
Yeah.
not too long ago, this time last year, so just under a year ago, I remember us talking about it in one of our early episodes. We brought it up.
Yeah.
Because we knew it was definitely happening at this point. Some of the cast had been, like, mentioned, specifically Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart being a poop.
As the poop emoji. Ugh.
Because,
And then, just after Christmas, a teaser trailer came out.
Yeah.
Which I avoided like the plague, but you saw.
It's just emojis in boxes.
Oh, God.
That's all it is.
Now the full trailer's out.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen Inside Out...
Yeah.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Yep.
And I would argue to a degree, Osmosis Jones.
Yep.
Although that is a shit version of Inside Out from before Inside Out coming out, but still.
Yep.
If you've seen any of those three things, hell, the Numbskulls, the Beano comic book strip. If you've seen any of those things where it's about a society of people living inside a greater body to serve something outside, be it a human life that they are operating, or, you know, like an audience that they're playing to, or whatever. If you've ever seen that story before, you're not seeing anything new with the Emoji Movie. It looks like the premise basically is there are families of emojis that live to be an emoji in a text.
If you've ever seen any kids' film from the last 20 years whose plot centres on a young member of this society trying to find his purpose because he doesn't fit into the same box as everyone else.
Literally.
In this society.
Literally.
You've seen the Emoji Movie.
I use that word very sparingly.
And there's probably going to be songs. There's a bunch of celebrities doing the voices. And it looks fucking dreadful.
Yes.
Just now, fucking dreadful.
As we talk about this, because here's the thing, a lot of studios don't tend to release their own trailer directly on their own YouTube channel nowadays. They will put it out to other media outlets first, and then they'll release their version. More commonly, this has been happening since last March, after Sony posted the Ghostbusters 2016 trailer, and it was the most downvoted video of all time.
It was not a good trailer.
It was a terrible trailer. It was a freaking god-awful trailer.
The movie's fine. The trailer's not good.
Yeah, the movie's fine.
It's fine.
The trailer was absolutely dreadful. And this is a case of Sony have put it out through other people first, so that hundreds of thousands and millions of views have already happened for this trailer in the last 24 hours elsewhere, and then Sony have posted it themselves. As of the recording of this podcast, the Sony trailer has just breached the 800,000 views, and it is at least 90% thumbs down, 10% thumbs up.
Because it looks shit.
It looks Patrick Stewart. And I'm sad that that's in context.
It looks patronising.
So, Emoji's the meh emoji, and he feels other emotions other than just meh. Well, how long are they going to sustain that in the movie? Where the other emojis are going to be like, oh, we're all one thing, but then as the story progresses and the script calls for it, they make other gestures and act in different ways. So he's rejected when he accidentally makes the wrong face in a text. I can't believe I'm saying this.
I can't.
So then he gets rejected to a place where unused emojis live, including James Corden's high five emoji.
I don't.
And apparently the eggplant emoji in what's, I guess, supposed to be a riff on the fact it's a commonly used adult joke.
Penises! Chris!
But
cocks!
In the world of your emojis, that wouldn't make sense, because surely that would be out there all the time.
It's a child's phone, though.
It is indeed a child's phone, but come on. Let's be brutally honest. Kids copy memes that they see elsewhere. Even if they don't know. No, now, I saw in the comments, someone said, if this was a meme movie, I'd be interested.
God. No!
I would hate that.
No!
I would hate that, but at the same time, at least with that, there could be some kind of base creativity where you go, we're going to use these memes subtly within the context and tell a story. Whereas with this, you've gone, we're going to tell a story using a graphic of a smiley face.
No!
But there are memes in there. Someone says bye Felicia and misses the point.
Oh no! No.
This looks abysmal. It looks absolutely abysmal, and it's a shame because Sony. There is still some creativity out there at Sony. There are lots of terrible decisions being made. We're talking exclusively about Sony Pictures.
Yeah.
Like gaming division wise,
they're still making some questionable decisions, but they're doing all right.
Oh yeah, but like they're not doing anything that makes people sort of like tear their hair out in like frustration and anger. It's more like, wait, what? They're not like Nintendo levels of the fuck are you doing, guys? They're not early Xbox One levels of are you fucking kidding, guys?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Like they're doing pretty well over there. Like VR technology, they're sort of one of the better sellers. Like they sort of know where they're going. Music wise, the record company, they're doing great stuff as they always do. They're making bank. La la la.
Are they though? Don't trust the record labels.
They're making bank. They're making bank.
Don't trust the record labels.
I'm not signed up.
Don't trust the record labels.
All right.
Don't encourage them. Don't encourage them. All right. Stop.
What was the last Sony film you watched where you actually really liked it? That is a really big statement, and it might be tough to remember. To be honest, I actually don't recall. The only one that comes to mind for me, and it didn't change my world, but I had fun, was Goosebumps last spring, which was a kids movie. A live-action kids movie based off... A live-action kids movie made way too late, but was still basically Gremlins for kids, for younger kids. And I had fun with it. I can't think of anything else. A Sony movie that hasn't disappointed me or upset. Skyfall, maybe? Back in 2012?
Skyfall was pretty good.
But even then, Sony's only the distributor of the James Bond movies, not the... They don't make them.
Yeah.
So... Homecoming might be nice, but again, distributor, not the ones making it.
Yeah.
It's so odd. I mean, they make the weirdest decisions.
They do make. Just like Fox.
Yeah. Oh, Christ. Do you know what? Let's move off of this Patrick Stewart show. And again, I can't believe that's in context. It makes me so sad.
Let's talk about something else.
Let's talk about anything else.
Let's talk about video games.
Let's talk about video games.
So, as some of you may know...
Sorry, that's the full title now of this item.
Terrible. As some of you may know, Marvel Heroes Omega, which has been a free-to-play game on PC for years now. Started in 2014, then it got renamed in 2015, got renamed in 2016.
As Marvel Heroes 2015, Marvel Heroes 2016.
Then it became Marvel Heroes Omega, and now it's coming to consoles. It's been in closed beta on the PS4. It will have ended by the time you hear this podcast. But I decided
Unless you're listening to us through the window.
Yes, in which case... Just trim those hedges, will you?
Yeah, we could plant them first, that'd be lovely.
No, don't shit on the decking! And yeah, it's been in closed beta, so if you put in some money, if you want to put some money down and get a founder's pack, then you get access to the closed beta. And I decided to do that 2 days before the closed beta closes and it goes to open beta. By the time you hear this podcast, it'll be in open beta.
We're all open betas, really.
And it'll be free to play, and basically, they took Marvel Ultimate Alliance...
The games from the 2000s that were pretty decent on PS2 and PS3.
Yep. And they took Diablo.
Not my old mate, Diablo.
And that sort of dungeon crawler thing.
Alright,
and they sort of mashed them together, made them kiss. And then he popped a baby out, and it's Marvel Heroes Omega. It's alright. It's pretty good fun. It's got couch co-op. You can play with up to 5 people online in your party. Basically, the way it works is... So, it's free to play. You can play any of the characters up to level 10.
Yes.
And then you have to buy them if you want to carry on.
Yeah.
You can buy them in 2 ways.
So would the game just finish then when you get to level 10?
You can't level up anymore.
Right, okay.
You keep going, but you can't level up.
Yeah.
So, there's 2 ways to unlock the characters. You can either buy them with real money, which is a currency called G's, which you buy with real money, like any free-to-play game. There's a paid currency. And then there's Eternity Splinters, which drop... like every few minutes you get like 1 or 2 or 3 drop as you play the game. So you do earn them at a pretty... I've put like maybe 4 or 5 hours into the game and I've got 30 odd, 40 odd.
Okay.
But you get enough splinters from completing the tutorial to buy most characters. To buy one of most of the characters.
Yeah, it's like most of the ones that are available, you have a pick of them.
You get 400 Eternity Splinters from the tutorial. Most characters cost 400.
Okay.
Some of them cost 200. some of the more popular ones cost 600. So like Spider, Wolverine, Iron Man, Rocket, Deadpool. I think that's it. They cost like 600 Eternity Splinters, so you can't buy them straight away.
Who's on like the 200 tier?
200 tier is like Angela, Squirrel Girl, Nova. I don't think it has any relation to their power, how strong they are. And then pretty much everyone else is 400.
Okay.
Eternity Splinters. And they fall in between like 900 to 1200 G, which is the paid currency. I think it's like £7 for 1200 G or something. So you're looking at spending less than a tenner for a character if you want to buy him outright.
That's not. I mean, considering the game's free, that's not too bad. If you're looking to pick a character like I want to play as them,
and you get to try, but you can earn Eternity Splinters to just buy as many characters as you want. It'll just take your time.
I think that's the thing to say. A free to play game, I think it's fine if the money you're going to possibly invest in it isn't unreasonable.
Costumes you have to buy with real money.
Yeah. Which I kind of get, yeah. Because that is essentially customization.
And there are some enhanced costumes that will change voice acting and other bits and pieces. In some cases, it'll even change the character. So Wiccan from Young Avengers isn't his own character. He's the enhanced costume for Scarlet Witch.
That's pretty cool. So basically, it's like the baseline of that character, for example, obviously could exist through another character's makeup. Yeah. Similar to what's going on with the Injustice one. Like if you buy the deluxe version, you get Supergirl, and you can change Supergirl into Power Girl.
But you
complete with similar moveset, but like different graphics and voice actor and costume and animation.
It means you have to pay real money if you want to play as Wiccan.
Yeah.
You can't unlock Wiccan through normal play. Okay. You have to unlock Scarlet Witch and then pay real money to get the Wiccan costume. Okay. And the same goes for Jane Foster Thor. Like, female Thor is an enhanced costume for Thor.
I will say this, at least they're not doing that to, like, just play as Spider-Man or Wolverine, for example.
No. Like, Spider-Man...
That would be heinous. Yeah. Like, to take away massive characters that people definitely want to play as and do that, that would be pretty freaking heinous.
Yeah.
To do it to more specified ones, like... Again, like, you might feel a bit... If you're a Young Avengers fan, you might feel cheated that the only way you can get Wiccan is to pay money.
But there aren't any other Young Avengers in the game.
But also, you didn't pay any money to play the game. So, that's the thing. Like, I don't mind free-to-play charging... Yeah.
Because I bought the PlayStation Plus exclusive Founders Pack, which gives you War Machine and both his costumes.
Oh, shit.
Which is his default Initiative costume and the Civil War movie one.
Oh, cool. Complete with... walking stick.
War Machine's pretty...
It's just Don Cheadle with crutches.
War Machine's
That's the costume.
War Machine's pretty boss. He's got like he's got flamethrowers and chainsaws and laser swords and gun turrets.
That's a pretty good one, actually. Is that a PlayStation Plus thingy? After it launches, I wonder if PlayStation Plus will still have like, go on, you guys get you can buy this.
Most of the free to play games get like a free PlayStation Plus starter pack. DC Universe did, Warframe did, and Let It Die did, and all that kind of stuff. So most of the free to play games will get like a little PlayStation Plus starter pack included in that. So that'll probably give you like a bunch of I paid £14 and I got War Machine, both his costumes, well, his default costume and his extra costume. I got like 500G, which isn't enough to buy a character, but it's enough to buy or a costume even.
Yeah.
But it's enough to like expand your inventory a couple of times and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can tweak and customize a bit.
That's
what I'm saying. Like if say for example Star Wars Battlefront had been free to play, I think that would have been a lot.
In that game, it probably should have been.
Yeah, that would have been a lot more acceptable because then free to play, you could take part in matches and basic competitions, and then if you wanted to spend £15, you could get the season pass to get specific levels that only you could get if you paid for. Blah blah blah. Like, that would have been worth it. That's why I waited for it to go down to £10 at like, our local supermarket. Because I was like, there we go. Now I feel justified in buying it.
I think there's so much depth in the free-to-play options on PS4. And I think this is coming to Xbox One as well, I think. But I don't think the beta was on Xbox One. That you can buy a PS4 and just play free-to-play games and have a pretty fucking sweet time.
Yeah.
Because I've played a bunch of Warframe. I'm still playing a bunch of Let It Die. I'm sinking a bunch of time into Marvel Heroes Omega now. I've dipped my toe into Neverwinter.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to give Skyforge a try at some point in the near future. Like, you can play a lot of stuff for free on the PS4, and some of it's pretty good, so... And yeah, it's worth checking. It's going to be worth checking out Marvel Heroes when it launches free.
You had me at it's kind of like Marvel.
It's kind of like Ultimate Alliance. It's really scratching the itch. And me and my girlfriend have just been playing a bunch of it local co-op. It's got 2-player local co-op, and you can mix and match local and online co-op for maximum up to 5 players. So,
who've you both been playing as then? Like War Machine?
I've been playing as War Machine. She's been playing as Spider-Man, but she's just leveled him up to 10, and I haven't got enough Eternity Splinters to unlock him.
Damn.
So I think she switched to Black Panther.
Okay, so if you wanted to like continue with Spider-Man higher level,
I could just save up.
You either have to buy him or save up Eternity Splinters over a longer period of time.
And they do drop fairly often. It will take you a while to get to 600, but they'll drop fairly often.
That is worth it though if like you've got enough characters to play with.
I mean, considering the
if you've got like 3 or 4 characters, for example, by the time you've leveled them all up to 10, surely you'll have enough of Eternity Splinters or near enough to buy one of them outright.
Oh yeah,
then.
Absolutely.
So it's worth it then. Like
you get enough splinters from the tutorial to buy a 400 splinter character.
Yeah.
Outright.
So that's what I like about it. That's what I like about free-to-play games that are like this, where it doesn't get to a point where you have to stop and go, oh, I've got to wait now for it to catch up with itself, or oh, I've got to repeat the same thing again and again to get to this point.
Or they give you enough to cool down.
They give you enough stuff. They give you enough stuff to do, and at the same time, if you want to buy like a basic pack or a basic character or whatever, it's not a lot of money.
No,
it's a reasonable amount considering you haven't paid anything to play the game.
It's microtransactions. Like they're playing. You pay them like a £5 here or a £10 there over a longer period of time, rather than buying a game for like 58 quid or whatever.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like I understand paywalls and microtransactions being the big shits and everything. But mostly microtransactions I have a problem with on console games when it's like a 55 quid game.
Yeah,
and then you have to pay stuff.
I don't
That's where I have a problem with it.
Yeah.
That's like GTA Online, for example. GTA Online, big, expansive, and a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. You don't have to spend any real world money if you don't want to, but you can.
God, I've sunk hours and hours and hours into Let It Die, and I've not spent a single penny on that game.
But at the same time, if they turn around, I know, but at the same time, if they turn around and went like, oh, like for $4.99, you can have all this extra shit and like a new thing. There'll be an extra like a story that branches off that'll be separately. And you'd go like, all right, I did £5 considering I've spent hours playing this and I've not spent a penny. I'd pay £5 for a bit of extra. I mean, it's a slippery slope if they then start going, do it again.
Well, DC Universe does that because you have to buy all the expansion packs.
Yeah.
The base game is free, but you have to buy all the expansion packs.
Yeah. How gameplay wise have you had any story missions on Marvel Online so far on Omega?
Yeah, it's all like the whole thing is basically like it starts with a raft outbreak.
Okay. Oh, brilliant! Oh, perfect setup. Yeah. There's a shit ton of villains out there in the world.
So you go through the raft to close off the cells, and you fight the living laser, and then you fight the Green Goblin.
Okay. So they chuck out a who? And
yeah.
This guy at the same time, like Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah.
You'd have like villain double teams where you're like, I have no idea who that is. But I know who that is.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
And you're working.
You get to learn a bit more.
Like the first hub area is Avengers Tower, and you go there, and all other players also are on the same server.
Like Ultimate Alliance too.
So you're in the Avengers Tower,
Avengers Tower.
You're running around as your character, and then a bunch of other players are running around as well. So you've got like 7 Deadpools and a couple of Icemans and some Beasts and a Blade or whatever, all fucking running around, and they all say things to each other as well when you say hello. Like Blade likes to say, "Oh, that Iceman guy is the only guy I've ever met who can ice skate uphill." That's an actual line from the game.
Jesus Christ!
Actual line from the game. So the
I don't know if that's brilliant or terrible, but either way, it made me smile.
It hasn't got the enormous roster that the PC version has yet.
Yeah, that's.
Like, there are some characters that are on there that are missing, but it's still got a pretty fucking deep bench. Like we've got Blade, we've got Black Panther, we've got Black Widow, we've got Iceman, Beast, Cyclops, Wolverine, Storm, Magic.
Oh shit! Okay.
We've got
Squirrel Girl,
Angela. Nova, Angela, Spider-Man, Groot. Not Groot yet.
Not Groot yet.
Rocket. You've got Rocket, and one of Rocket's powers is a Groot summon.
Okay, right. So Groot can pop in. You get a visit from Groot.
Yeah, like Luke Cage is in it. And Iron Fist is in it as well, but at the moment it's a time exclusive, so you have to spend some money to get him. It'll be available properly later on.
Not sure they're going to make a lot of money on that one at the moment. Bad timing.
But like one of Luke Cage's powers is an Iron Fist summon.
That's cool.
On the PC version, it was a Jessica Jones summon as well, but I don't think that's in this.
I imagine
Jessica Jones is in it as an NPC, and she's in the is in the PC version playable, but she's not in this yet. Right, Daredevil's in it.
I was going to say, I imagine she's going to come in as a playable character at some point.
Iron Man, War Machine, Hawkeye, Hulk, all the Avengers characters, Scarlet Witch. No villains yet.
That's playable. I think that's fine. I think that's fair enough. Considering the game's called Marvel Heroes, I think that's a fair play.
As they bring in the characters in the PC version, we'll get that. Because I'm pretty sure Magneto's a playable character and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You got Deadpool, obviously. And I haven't unlocked a lot of this stuff yet because different features unlock at different character levels.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't unlocked the synergy system or anything like that yet. But there is synergy bonuses for having heroes team up and things like that. And so,
can you summon the ability to ice skate uphill if you're not Iceman?
Not if you're not Iceman. Oh. When you get to level 10, you unlock your hero's traversal power. Mm-hmm. It's like Spidey can web swing at level 10.
Yeah.
War Machine can start flying at level 10. Things like that.
Okay. That's quite cool.
That's
nice as well because it feels like a progression.
Deadpool rides a Vespa. Summons a Vespa out of nowhere. So I've been in a hub world a few times and just seen someone riding around on a Vespa. I'm like, who the fuck is that? And then they stop and I was like, oh, it's Deadpool. Of course it's Deadpool.
Of course it's
Deadpool. Of course it is.
I hope Squirrel Girl travels on a sea of squirrels.
I've not seen any Squirrel Girls yet.
She's won the 200 tier.
She's won the 200.
If I get 400 from my thing, I'm probably going to buy her and another 200 level character.
You buy Squirrel Girl and Nova or Squirrel Girl and Angela.
I'm up for that. Nova and Squirrel Girl.
Why not? But I'm not
Summer
too. I'm not too fussed about it at the moment because they're wiping everyone's progression tomorrow.
Okay.
The server's going to be down 24 hours, and then when it comes back up on the 19th, it'll be free to play. It'll be
19th, that's bad timing.
Yeah,
that's the same day Injustice 2 comes out of the United Kingdom and Europe.
But I'm not getting Injustice 2, you're getting Injustice 2. So that's
my god, well, we'll meet back here next week to discuss which one is having more fun, the Marvel or the DC boy. Because we're not Marvel shells, they just know how to touch us in the right way.
I could always play some DC Universe Online, if I was a masochist.
Oh god!
I've really tried.
I know.
I've tried with DC Universe Online. I just keep bouncing off it.
It wasn't dreadful. It just didn't give enough reasons for me to stick around longer than a couple of hours.
Yeah,
character creation at the beginning, I had a lot of fun with that. I spent a good hour. Creating a character.
I love Blasthead. Is
that what you were called?
My fire elemental flying superhero who has a giant hammer. I fucking love Blasthead.
That's pretty cool, actually.
And he's got the radioactive symbol as his emblem.
Not Taserface.
Not Taserface!
It's metaphorical! For it strikes fear in the hearts of those who hear it.
Yeah. I've really tried with DC Universe Online, and that's just been a dud for me.
Well,
I've not been able to get into it.
Let us traverse the universe, good sir.
The universe.
There are many things out there.
There are many things out there.
Things you could never dream of, like hammocks, omelettes, unicorns with AIDS.
I want to talk to you. About the universe of the unitard of aliens.
Yes, the alien unitard.
Outside of the films.
Yes.
We'll get back to the films.
We shall
moment,
indeed.
Because we'll talk about Prometheus, and then we'll tell you what we'll tell y'all what we thought of Alien Covenant. But at first, because I've spent some time, not just recently, since some of the earliest comics I owned were
since the dawn of time.
Since the dawn of time. Since the end of time.
Rick-a-goo-goo.
Some of the earliest comics I owned was the one of the first trade paperbacks I ever owned was the first collection of the Dark Horse Aliens comics, originally published in 1989 by Mark Verheiden and Mark A. Nelson. Written by Mark Verheiden.
Has to be pronounced like that.
Drawn by Mark A. Nelson.
Nelson!
And that was kind of the first big expanded universe material for Alien. Because Dark Horse acquired the license in the late 80s and started publishing stuff. And it's interesting because those first three miniseries, which were later published as Outbreak, Nightmare Asylum, and
which is a great title.
Earth War, or Female War, depending on the edition. They were originally a direct sequel to Aliens. So it originally followed a grown-up Newt and a disgraced, battle-scarred and shunned Hicks, with Ripley nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
And the first miniseries, they find the alien homeworld and they go off to get samples. Meanwhile, there's a religious cult has sprung up on Earth around the alien.
Okay.
And one of the weapons companies has managed to get their whole hands on a queen.
Oh, Jesus.
The religious...
That's going to end well.
The religious nutters storm the compound and Earth becomes infested. So Newt and Hicks get back from this mission and Earth's been overrun. And they're like, oh shit.
Like, great, we came home and there's more of this shit. And that's how Newt talks when she's a grown up.
In Nightmare Asylum, they
mostly come out at night.
Mostly. In Nightmare Asylum, they get picked up by a research ship, which is a bunch of alien specimens. So out the frying pan into the fire.
Yeah.
And then Ripley turns up at the end.
Huzzah!
With not one. But 17 guns taped together.
Of course.
Like, you know the two guns taped together at the end of Aliens?
Yeah.
The artist did that, but like more of them.
Because of course.
I'll show you. I'm going to find you the image now. See if I can find.
Because I'm sure that's a practical thing. I'm sure she has 17 fingers that can reach around all those triggers.
Because I've got the first Dark Horse omnibus in here, which collects those first three series.
Does she have them all connected by string?
I will show you. I will show the image. This is
I
not
can
going to work
pull the trigger because they're connected by string.
I can pull the trigger because they're connected by string. You'll see. Look,
ladies and gentlemen, our special guest star, Mickey Rooney.
Look at that.
Oh my god.
Look at that. That is like, yeah.
Is that grown up Newt?
That's grown up Newt.
In the top right.
But in this...
She's very grown up. How old's Ripley meant to be?
Well.
She looks fine. She looks younger than Newt.
I can't remember what happens in the Female War, by the way, so don't ask me. I have read it, but I've not reread it for a long time, so I've no idea what happens.
Many moons.
And I'm rereading Nightmare Asylum for the first time in fucking God knows how long at the moment. So
many moons.
All I remember is Ripley's massive gun from the end of it. And
the fact she's saying, "I'm tired of watching.
It's time to finish."
And then she finishes it, she puts it down and says, Stephen King's best work.
But basically...
And then she says, right, now it's time to fight.
Female War came out in 91.
Yes.
Alien 3 came out in 92.
Yes.
And
shit's all over
all of that.
Dark Horse's storyline.
They went back, and in the newer editions, like the one I've got, they made edits. So Hicks is now Wilkes, Newt is now Billy, survivors from a different mission.
Okay.
And Ripley is synthetic with implanted memories.
Of Ellen Ripley.
Of Ellen Ripley.
Because they managed to get hold of her and implant memories in her somehow.
I guess.
So even in that version you're reading there, they've had their names changed.
Yeah.
That is really strange.
There is all the trade versions are that now.
Yeah, unless you got the original.
I think they did do it like a 30th anniversary re-release of the original series, which has Newt and Hicks in it. But I'm not.
Well, that's because they basically went, right, we've got 3 series.
Yeah.
We want to carry on telling stories, but unless we scrap everything we've just done and start again, let's just tinker with it instead and change things around.
Carry on telling stories. They did. There are shit tons. Absolute shit. Like that omnibus edition I've got, there's 6 volumes of those. You know the Dark Horse omnibus editions, which are
they're the sort of like tiny phone book size things.
The white cover ones.
Yeah.
There's 6 of those for the Alien series. That doesn't collect all the Alien stuff they've done.
Jesus.
There's still more. And it doesn't touch any of the Alien. There's 2 of those for Alien versus Predator, which again doesn't collect all the Alien vs Predator stuff they've done.
Christ.
I think there's 2 for Predator as well.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah. There's so much stuff. And a lot of it I've not read. Some of it I've read the comics of, some of it I've read the novel, because he's novelised a few of them as well.
Yeah.
Like Labyrinth, like Breakout and...
Before you get bug rushed.
Yes.
At the Wild Wild with
Breakout and Nightmare Asylum and Female War were all novelised. And that was where the novelisation was the first version to edit the names from Newton Hicks to Billy and Wilkes and stuff. And then reprints of the comics, they changed it then. Then I've read the comic and the novelization of Genocide, which was the next series after that, which is a new story about that they find a world with two different species of alien. There's the black ones that we know, and the red ones.
Yeah, I've seen these guys.
The warring hives, and it also introduced the concept of royal jelly, of like which is a real thing that happens in beehives.
I don't think one's ready for one's jelly.
Royal jelly. Like in beehives, basically, royal jelly is what they use to make a larvae a queen.
Yeah,
and it's the same with aliens. But then,
is that how you get the massive queen facehugger that's like the size of a small truck?
Well, who knows?
I have no idea what it's meant to climb onto.
In the comics, they started doing
Quaker Oats.
They started doing queen facehuggers with the spines on the back.
Yeah,
the facehugger had spines, like spikes, like a porcupine, not spines like what the Predator rips out. And I'm not going to even get into Alien vs Predator here.
No.
Well, I'm a little bit, but not like into that. The original Alien vs Predator series,
and
all the stuff that came after that. That's the original Alien vs Predator series, by the way, is great. It's a bit overlong, but it's really good. A lot of the stuff that came after isn't.
Yeah.
But I'm not really going to get into that here. That's a question. That's a conversation for another time.
Another day.
So yeah, I've read Genocide. And other Labyrinth is one I've read the novel of, but not the comic, which is... A lot of these stories are like, there's a mad scientist with a connection to the aliens and experimenting on aliens, and someone wants to stop them experimenting on aliens, and
what are they doing to the aliens?
They're experimenting on the aliens. And they want to do things with the aliens, but then someone wants to stop them experimenting on the
Brad
aliens.
Dourif kissy things.
Yeah. Actually, the first Dark Horse series, Outbreak, that we've talked about, is notable because it brings the space jockeys back.
Oh shit!
So it's got the space jockey in it.
Yeah.
But like as a full-on humanoid with the big stubby arms and elephant face and trunk and things like that.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, this is the space jockey. He's the mate of the person who was the pilot on the original Derelicts in the first Alien movie. And he killed all the aliens who saved us when we were on the alien homeworld trying to get it. Yeah, they got the alien homeworld in this.
So there's an alien homeworld in the comic books.
And they find out that the aliens aren't even the dominant species on that planet.
Oh, God.
And then this space jockey turns up and exterminates the aliens and then follows them back to Earth. And he's like, I'm not going to help you, but I'm going to be back for the rest of your species. And then never gets brought up again in any of the other aliens stories.
Because he gets lost on the way.
Yeah.
He runs out of gas.
Yeah, basically.
And he has to get a job in a space little chef.
And then Prometheus...
to earn up enough money to repair his ship.
Prometheus happens and again... just bombs that entire plot line that was never going to get picked up anyway.
I want to see that. I want to see an engineer with a trunk working in a little chef.
Oh,
in space.
I can show you an engineer with a trunk.
But is he working in a little chef in space?
No, he's not working on a little chef. He's wearing a little spacesuit and he looks angry. And he's got crossed pupils because I don't know. So yeah, and so that's continued for a while. And there's been all sorts of novels and the youngest Predator stuff, and then a couple of years back, about 2014, Fox were like, you know what? Fuck all that shit. This is just after Prometheus came out.
Yeah.
Fuck all that shit. We're going to reboot the expanded universe. And what we're going to start it off with is a trilogy of 3 novels. Aliens novels. Not AVP. Alien novels. Alright, okay. So, we got 3 alien novels. Out of the Shadows.
Yeah.
Sea of Sorrows.
Great title.
And River of Pain.
Sounds like an emo band album from the 2000s, but fair enough.
I have read Out of the Shadows and Sea of Sorrows. I've just started River of Pain. They are released as a trilogy. The first 2 have connections. The second one, the third one is not connected even to in any way that I can see so far. Right. But the first one...
They just renamed the 2 main characters.
Yes,
because it contradicted itself.
It contradicted itself. The first one, Out of the Shadows, is really weird because it's a sequel to Alien that takes place before Aliens with the idea that there's an outbreak in a mining colony because they discover an alien ship in the mine.
Wait, an alien ship?
An alien ship.
Not a xenomorph.
Not a xenomorph ship.
Okay, I was going to say, I can't picture those guys piloting anything Unless they're doing it accidentally.
As in a ship belonging to a heretofore unseen an unknown alien race.
A species?
Presumably extinct by this point.
Yeah.
It's implied that the xenomorphs wiped them out. And that creates an outbreak. And they get back to the mothership, which is in orbit. And that fucks up all sorts of stuff. And then the mothership, which is in bad shape, because one of the landers had aliens on it and it crashed into the mothership and fucked everything up. They pick up the Narcissus, the shuttle from Alien.
Okay.
And Ripley. And they wake Ripley up.
Hang on, Matt. Aliens begins with Ripley being woken up. Okay.
Yes.
What?
Turns out.
Yeah.
Ash.
What?
Ash.
Yeah.
Synthetic from the first film.
Ian, I'm definitely not a bad guy.
I'm definitely
Holmes.
not a bad synthetic Holmes. He uploaded his AI, a copy of his AI, into the Narcissus shuttle's computer. And he's been trying to find another sample.
So he crashed Ripley's, essentially, escape pod.
He's still following Executive Order 937.
Oh, Jesus.
To try and bring a sample back.
Okay.
So Ripley gets involved in all this, and she gets really fucked up on the way down the planet, and she meets queens and all that sort of stuff. And the miners...
Queens?
Yeah.
Queen aliens?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
But she meets the Queen alien for the first time in Aliens.
So they get her back up, and it's like her and one other miner who left alive, and they get back up to the mothership. And they're like, alright, we'll get in your shuttle, we'll go. And then Ash is like, the Ash AI is like, nah, no fucking way.
Oh my God. No fucking way.
What we're going to do is, you're going to put Ripley on that med pod. I'm going to fix her up, wipe her memory, and you're going to put her back in that hypersleep, and you're going to let us go.
Okay.
Or I'm going to destroy the station.
Wait.
Because I'm in the ship's computer now as well.
Wait. So Ash is like, no, you're going to leave her alone. You're going to put her back where you found her,
and you're going to let us go so I can find another sample and take it home.
So his intention is he's going to wake her up wherever he lands, make her get a sample, be it a face hugger attached to her face, or bringing back an egg. Or something.
Or getting to somewhere where he can get a sample back to Wayland.
I'm guessing the implication is he's going to use her as a incubator, basically. He's going to get her face huggered, put her back in stasis, and then take her back. Jesus Christ.
He's still following the special order from Alien.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But if anything...
Shit, man. So, that's a pretty cool idea.
So, but what happens is they get her in the cryo tube, they get her back to sleep, and she's got her memory wiped.
Mm-hmm.
But the last miner who's left, he manages to get into the Narcissus systems and wipe out the Ash AI.
Okay.
So then it's just left with her drifting back towards Earth at the end of this book.
What's weird about this is it implies in the Alien universe people can conduct memory wipes.
Well, it's one of those fancy Wayland med pods like you see in Prometheus.
Okay. Alright.
So it's got a bunch of stuff that it can do. Because Ripley gets properly fucking jacked up. She gets one of her legs torn open and stuff like that went down the planet. So
yeah.
This fixes her up good as new. Okay. Memory. Which is the thing Ash does, I think, actually. Because they put another woman in it first to try and heal her up, and Ash just straight away uses the pod to kill her.
Oh God.
It's basically just laser cutter, open up the jugular. She's dead. Now put Ripley in.
Jesus Christ. He's like, you're going to do what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Or I'll just kill any of the crew member whoever needs to use this thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Because they all need medical treatment at that point, because they've all been really fucked up by the aliens.
Is he still weirdly formal?
Yeah.
Sort of quite...
I think, if I remember correctly, it's all computer text.
Yeah.
He's no voice. He doesn't have a voice. He's just over the monitors.
Okay. Oh God, that's even freakier.
So that's Out of the Shadows. It's pretty alright.
Being texted from beyond the grave.
It's alright. It's weird, but it's alright.
Okay.
Then there's Sea of Sorrows, which is...
Please tell me Ripley doesn't get woken up somewhere else.
Oh no.
Oh, thank God.
Sea of Sorrows is a sequel to Out of the Shadows.
Right.
But it's set after Alien Resurrection. Originally...
Where the fuck?
Originally...
So we're skipping ahead 200 years.
Oh yeah. Originally, it was going to write Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection out of canon and be set after Aliens.
Okay.
But then Fox at the last minute turned around to the author and were like, no, maybe not do that. You have to set it after Resurrection now. So the writer then has to do this sort of...
Which implies that Fox, behind the scenes, they still are open to maybe doing a sequel to the Alien franchise itself, so they don't want to write it out of existence.
Possibly.
Okay.
But
or something that Ridley Scott's got planned for a Covenant sequel will tie into themes that are present in Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection. Okay.
We'll see.
Oh, God.
So basically, the writer then has to do this sort of acrobatics where Sea of Sorrows is set after Alien Resurrection, and when the Auriga crashed into Earth at the end of Resurrection, it fucked up Earth so bad that Weyland-Yutani, who by then had been reduced to like a shadow of their former selves, were like, we can use our atmosphere processing technology to terraform Earth and fix it for everyone. And then that made them into a megacore again. Okay. So it's a cyclical thing of like the United Systems military has fallen through in the aftermath of Resurrection, and Weyland-Yutani is a super corporation again.
So you can't kill Weyland-Yutani ever, basically.
Apparently not. And they're trying to recolonize that same world that was at the mining colony in Out of the Shadows. And then there's this guy called Decker. Not Deckard. It's not Blade Runner, I think.
Okay. Not Deckard.
Alan Decker.
Think about the future.
And he's like an admin dude, but he's also an empath.
Right. So they're bringing in psychic abilities into the alien
low-level empathic abilities.
Bloody hell.
And he finds out that this colony world that we were on, which as far as I knew was Uncharted, has an old mining operation on it. And he's like, what the fuck? So he reports that to Weyland-Yutani.
Okay.
Who, of course, know that there was an old mining operation on that.
Yeah.
Because it was theirs.
Right.
And they covered all that shit up.
Because...
There's aliens there.
Oh, Jesus.
Only these aliens remember Ripley. Or at least her scent.
So these are the ones... These are spawned then...
Off the aliens that she meets in Out of the Shadows.
Right, okay.
They recognise Decker as being of the Destroyer. Decker is somehow a descendant of Ellen Ripley.
Okay.
Somehow.
Well,
and he can
Amanda could have had a child, I guess. Her daughter.
No, she died childless.
Amanda died?
It's stated in Aliens
that
Amanda died childless.
Because Amanda survives the events of isolation, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Because that last 40 minutes is alienless, and it's you escaping.
I've no idea. I've not finished Isolation.
Oh, okay.
So.
I won't say anything else then. Just put it this way: you know how the working Joes might be the scariest thing in the game. The working Joes are the scariest thing in the game.
Oh.
And what do you save for the end of your horror game? The scariest things in the game.
Okay,
that's all I'm saying.
Fair enough. So yeah, that's Sea of Sorrows.
Okay, I mean, maybe Ripley had maybe she's one. You know, she's not she's not a balls. She's not an only child. Maybe she's got siblings, and it's the you know what I mean, it's a parental thing.
They mention it, but they never go into detail on how that's the case.
Maybe the Ripley clone has shagged someone. Maybe in space Charles Dance got pregnant.
It's actual Ripley.
Okay, fair enough.
Because the person in the chat, the Weyland-Yutani person, basically they send him back there because he can sense the aliens to get samples. Yeah. And it does end on a downer. They do end up with Weyland-Yutani getting viable samples of the aliens.
Oh shit!
But they also get a sequel to that, right? Because River of Pain, which is the third book, is a new version of Newt's Tale, which was a 2-issue miniseries that Dark Horse did, which is a direct prequel to Aliens.
Okay.
The outbreak on the colony and how that all went down.
Yeah.
So River of Pain is like a new version of that.
So River of Pain is a sequel to Sea of Sorrows?
No.
No, but in terms of that release, it's part 3 of this trilogy.
It's part 3 of that trilogy.
But it's not a sequel story-wise, and is actually a prequel to Aliens.
Yeah. Oh, because the title River of Pain is the translation of Acheron.
Okay.
Planet.
Yeah.
River of Pain.
Okay.
This is one of the rivers to the underworld in mythology.
James Cameron.
And I've only read a little bit of it, but it's just so far. But I know it ends with it retcons it. Sort of there's a small garrison of Marines on the colony.
Yeah.
And it ends with some of them escaping before the other.
So that they can do something else with that in the future, I'm assuming.
Oh, we'll touch on that as well.
Oh, shit.
Because it's not the only bit of new expanded universe material which features colonists escaping from Hadley's Hope.
Jesus. There's so much!
Because Dark Horse also decided to do new comics. Using all of their licenses.
Now this is the 4-way crossover, isn't it?
This is Fire and Stone. Which is Fire and Stone and Life and Death. The first one's Fire and Stone.
They're a crossover between, see if I get this right, Prometheus, Aliens, that branch of the franchise, Predator, and Aliens versus Predator.
Yep.
The 4 franchises crossover.
Yep.
Hit me, boy.
Basically,
hit me, bending boy.
They use 4-issue minis in each of those, under each of those titles, to tell a longer story.
Okay.
So, the first one, Fire and Stone, starts off with a bunch of people on a mission to try and find out what happened to the Prometheus.
Okay.
They go to LV-223, which is the planet from Prometheus. We'll get to Prometheus.
The series hasn't accidentally been retroactively contradicted by Covenant, has it?
No.
Because if it has, Dark Horse might have to reboot again.
No, it hasn't.
Okay. Spoiler alert, Covenant is basically Prometheus 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, they LV-223 because the black oil spilled everywhere because of what happened in Prometheus.
Yeah,
it's like started mutating the planet, and there's all sorts of new wildlife and stuff. I guess it does kind of contradict what's in Alien Covenant, because there's full-on xenomorphs in LV-223 now.
Okay, well, yeah, that does
and it's basically the story of like, this salvage team is there, and then they get picked off, and they wake up another engineer, and that engineer's really pissed off and starts killing people, and there's aliens there, and then they manage, couple of them manage to get off the planet, and then their ship gets picked up by predators, and then they get back to the planet, and there's like one predator called Ahab who's trying to go after they call him Ahab. He's trying to go after engineers.
So, Ahab, the white whale, okay.
And then Fire and Stone picks up like a year after that, where there's a bunch of colonial marines getting some shit with some predators, and then crash land on this planet, and they find the survivors of Fire and Stone have been holding out there for a year. It's like these 3 humans and an Ahab.
Yeah.
And then shit goes south, and then they have to get off.
I'm picturing a predator with a sailor's cap and a pipe now.
Yeah, pretty much. And they eventually, finally get off planet. And like these, but there's only like 2 people left alive out of the group of colonial marines in Life and Death, and they're all right. It's not great. Like, the Prometheus stuff is kind of there's one. Yeah,
it sounds like a lot of the later parts of these franchises. To be fair, it's okay.
The last things I'll talk about, which are coming out at the moment, is this 2 Aliens miniseries. Yeah. There is other like new expanded universe stuff. There's been a couple of AVP novels. I've not touched them. I can't really get into them. But there's 2 current series that are ongoing. There's Aliens Defiance, which is a 12-part limited series written by Brian Wood. That's, I think, issue 12 is out either this week or next week. But I've read the first 11 issues, and it's about a colonial marine who's injured and disgraced, and gets sent on a mission with a bunch of combat synthetics, which are like halfway between Bishop and the Working Joes in terms of like appearance.
Okay, so they're like humanoid, but clearly robots.
It's ostensibly a rescue mission,
right?
But they get there and they find that the ship's infested by xenomorphs. It turns out they were sent there to bring back specimens.
Right.
And the leader of the combat synthetic unit, Davis 1, is like, nah, fuck this shit. I'm not taking these things back to Earth. He removes himself from the Weyland-Yutani network, and he's like, he turns around to Zula, who's the marine character, is like, we can go back and we can get court-martialed for failing our mission, and you can continue being disgraced, or we can take this ship and we can try and find every other trace of the aliens we can and fucking wipe them out. And that's the series.
Okay.
But the 2 problems being that, the two other problems being that Zula has a back injury which is why she's disgraced, because she basically got in her first battle and got injured straight away and paralysed.
Shit.
And she's receiving therapy for her back injury, but the longer she's away from Earth, the less effective her therapy is. So like she needs to go back to Earth at some point. And Davis has taken himself off the network, and he's writing code for himself to make himself slowly more human in terms of his emotional processing and his thought process and his personality and all that stuff. Okay. So he's trying to code himself to be more human. And yeah, it's a really cool series, and yeah, I'm liking it so far. There's one issue left to go, and we'll see how that ends up. And finally is Aliens Dead Orbit, which is a 4-issue miniseries by James Sacco, who did Orksnane and a couple of other things.
Which is a great name.
He's a writer-artist, so he writes it, he drew it,
he's a artist.
Inked it, penciled it, everything. Penciled it, lettered it, everything.
Accidentally put his coffee down on one of the prints. Was like, damn it, I'm just going to have to work with it.
Oh no! But the first
one of the characters now has a halo.
Only
a brown runny halo.
Only the first issue's out, and it's like... Basically, it's the story of an engineer who's been... Not a Prometheus engineer, like a human who is an engineer by trade. He's the only survivor of a station that's been fucked up by an alien infestation. And it's basically him in his wits and what few tools he's got left to survive. And there's some flashback stuff of like how the outbreak started. It looks like the station picked up a crew who had been infected, who were in cryosleep, and then brought them out of cryosleep and then later hatched. It looks like that's what happened, but it's a 4-issue miniseries, so there's still 3 issues left to come. See what happens. But that stuff's pretty good. There's some good Aliens Expanded Universe stuff out there. Aliens Defiance and Aliens Dead Orbit are well worth picking up. If you're desperate for some alien stuff, Out of the Shadows, Sea of Sorrow, they're alright. River of Pain is apparently pretty good. And these are the full cast audio drama version of River of Pain and Out of the Shadows, actually.
Is that the Dirk Maggs one?
Yeah.
With it's like a mix of American and British actors. And
stuff.
Yeah.
The River of Pain one is like Philip Glenister and all the people whose names I can't remember.
Anna Friel?
Anna Friel, Anna Friel.
Which I was looking at, I was like, this is a really interesting cast list.
I'm not sure if he's done Sea of Sorrows, but he's definitely done Out of the Shadows as well. As audio drama, so I'm probably going to check them out at some point. So yeah, it's there's some good stuff out there, but Fire and Stone and Life and Death are okay. They have problems, and most of those problems stem from being more influenced by Prometheus. Yeah. Let's talk about Prometheus.
Let's deep dive into this well of what the fuck. So, Ridley Scott announces back in 2010, I think, he started production on a new movie set in the world of the Alien films.
And it was based on a script that had been knocking around for a while called Aliens Engineers, which was a blacklisted script.
Yeah.
Not blacklisted and no one will produce it. It was on the blacklist, I think, which is like the unofficial list of the best scripts in Hollywood that haven't been picked up yet.
Yeah. Doing the rounds, and eventually it's like, yeah, it's happening. And everyone goes, oh shit, so it's an Alien prequel. And him and others took great pains to say, every chance they could, no, this is not an Alien movie.
It's set in the universe.
It's not a prequel to Alien. It isn't the story leading up to Alien. But it is using one specific element from that first movie to tell its tale. And that element is the space jockey, the ship that they find, the derelict they find. Yeah. How did that get there? That was their original line that they were putting out there. Like, how did that get there? And then what is that alien? What is going on? Yeah.
And then the script.
Damon Lindelof comes along, rewrites like crazy.
He's a script doctor who they bring in to fuck up healthy scripts.
It's like
I don't understand why people keep hiring Damon Lindelof.
It's like going,
he takes perfectly good scripts and fucks them up.
This script is perfect. It just needs we just need to put a band-aid on it. We just need a band-aid on one specific bit. So don't worry, we've called in the best man for the job. Oh, and here he is now. Hi, everybody! Like, that's basically what's happened here.
Hi, Damon Lindelof!
Like, he comes in and
I'm here to introduce black holes!
Like, it leaves with, like, several bullet wounds, 3 extra limbs sewn on, and a polar bear head. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Prometheus is a visually stunning piece of work.
Oh, it's a gorgeous looking film.
If you've got the sound off, this is a gorgeous thing to have on a screen in a reception at a trendy media place.
And some really nice creature design and effects as well.
Some great, some really good creature puppeteering, and the CG is really nice in it as well. Isn't any bad visual effects.
Wonderful. I say wonderful. It's actually nerve-shreddingly tense and harrowing scene. Involving an emergency cesarean section.
Yeah, I mean, if you think just cutting the jugular and saying, now put Ripley in the pod, it's scary. Like, wait till you see a woman having an alien baby pulled out of her stomach.
Yeah.
That sequence is great. Now, I will not deny the body horror of Prometheus is pretty damn great.
Yeah.
not referring to the prosthetics that Guy Pearce is wearing. So
that's another baffling thing about Prometheus.
Now it's got a really nice performance from Noomi Rapace.
Yeah, I love Noomi Rapace.
It's got a fucking great performance from Michael Fassbender as David.
Love Michael Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender playing Peter O'Toole in Lawrence of Arabia, playing David.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant. And it's got some really nice science fiction in it too, but it also has characters that don't make sense. Character choices that are beyond comprehension. And it's clearly a movie in the style of Lost and other stuff that Lindelof touches, which is, you've come in with questions. We're not going to answer any of your questions, but we're going to make you leave with other questions.
Yeah.
That is not how you bait for another movie.
Before we get into deconstructing this film,
yeah,
tell us the plot of Prometheus. What's Prometheus about?
How many laptops does he have? He has so many laptops. So, Dr. Shaw and her partner are amongst those who are studying on Earth evidence that life on Earth was created. What we perceive as gods and different cultures think of as God and gods and, beings from above and everything. Well, life on Earth was created.
It opens. It doesn't open with that, though, does it?
No, it opens with a shot of a giant naked white man in a cloak. It
looks like he's made out of marble.
Yeah. Dissolving himself into some water.
And that.
On the Gullfoss Falls. I've shot a sketch next to that waterfall. It's in Iceland, in Reykjavik. Yeah. I've shot a sketch next to the waterfall, and I think the thing we shot, which involved me as a bolshy director and my co-star as a man in drag, I think our thing was probably the most inspiring thing shot at the Gullfoss Falls. Because the opening Prometheus may look good, but when you think back to it, you go, the fuck? What does that mean? They find evidence in cave paintings and everything from different societies, different cultures, that is identical. Where they're like, oh my god, these are the same thing. Mm. And they find enough evidence to insist that it is not only not from Earth, there is directions, there are coordinates.
They find what they believe is a map.
We're going to find where we came from.
We're going to meet our creators.
What a really interesting idea for a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
Bit risky, but go for it. So they man an expedition. With it is Wayland, isn't it? It's Wayland Industries.
Yeah, it's not Wayland Yutani yet.
Not yet. It's Wayland Industries, which was started by Guy Pearce's character, who you only see as a hologram, as an old frickin' thing, and you see Guy Pearce in all the promos leading up to the movie's release as well, doing TED Talks like 20, 30 years before the events of Prometheus and all that. Yeah. So he's funding it, and you get the sense that he's like, I'm an old man, and I would like answers, and I'm not very well, and blah, blah, blah.
You only see young Guy Pearce in the
hologram.
Supplemental material. The hologram that you see of him in the film, brief for him, is old man makeup
old-ass Guy Pearce. And he's like, right, you've woken up now, you team of biologists and geographers.
Oh, we're going to spoil the shit out of Prometheus, by the way, just in case you haven't seen it.
You've been sent out into space, you're following your coordinates, you're following the dream, you're going to see maybe where we come from. As an old man, I know, end of my life, as much as I've done everything, I would love to know ultimate answers, and that's what you lot are out there to do. Mm-hmm. So go forth and discover. Go forth and find what you can. They arrive at Planetoid, where basically they find what we think is a crash, but it turns out to be a dormant vessel, a dormant ship, very similar to the one from Alien. So, of course, the first thought you have when you see, because it's there, isn't it, the image of it being sat there, the first thought you have is, oh my god, are they on the same planet that Alien's set on? Because there's a thing, like there's that ship.
Well, you know it isn't because they call it LV-223.
But it could change its name over time. Mince, but
shut up.
What means they're trying to invoke that feeling in you. So immediately,
there's a lot of trying to invoke that feeling in this movie.
So immediately, you're like, oh, here's the alien connection. And they tour the corridors and they find like a door slammed down.
They don't find the ship straight away. They find the dome.
Oh, that's it.
And they find the ship under the dome.
That's it. There is a beheaded figure. It looks like the door has decapitated them.
It's a space truck.
It's 9 foot tall. Like it's huge. It's wearing an armor similar to the one we know from Alien.
Which we didn't know was armor until this movie, by the way.
Yeah.
Like we thought that was just, as did the Dark Horse artist who did that first Dark Horse series.
The biologist, one of two on the team, who is there to study any potential like plant life or physical life, sees this beheaded 9 foot tall thing and goes,
Nope! This isn't what I signed on for. What? You're a fucking biologist!
You're being paid millions of dollars, and you've been in hypersleep for 4 years. You knew what your mission was, although, when you think about it, when they're watching that hologram, is that them finding out what their mission is, apart from Shaw and a partner?
Yes.
What the hell? So, that happens. They go back to the ship.
The geologist...
Loads of people chicken out.
The geologist who is mapping the tunnels with his drones.
Yeah.
So has a live map.
Yeah.
Of the tunnels.
Yeah.
Him and that biologist get lost.
Yeah.
He is mapping the tunnels with robots.
Yeah.
And he gets lost.
Much like the entire movie. We've got Idris Elba as the captain, who's just hanging back on the ship.
He's pretty cool.
Alongside Charlize Theron, who is the daughter of
we don't
the head
know
of the
that
company.
Yet,
yeah, spoiler alert. She's like high up in the company.
She's Meredith Vickers. She's like an executive, and it turns out later on that she's Wayland's daughter, and Wayland doesn't accept her, which is why he built David as like a son for himself.
Yeah, so David is like early AI. Like he's one of the
an early droid model, but he's more advanced than later ones we see in terms of like emotional ability, like an ability to.
And it seems like David might be an anomaly from what we learn in Covenant. David is like an exception, and it's not necessarily because he's been built to be more emotional. He's curious.
Yeah,
like he spends his 4 years alone on the Prometheus while everyone's in hypersleep, like absorbing culture, specifically liking Lawrence of Arabia. He dyes his hair and cuts it like Peter O'Toole and talks more like him. When we get to this planetoid, David starts to explore things a little bit more. And it's very different from Ash and Alien and all the stuff that's come out of that. It's not like he's been sent there to do this. It seems like he himself is just experimenting with life that he finds there. Be it spores, be it
no
water stuff.
Boundaries.
Yeah, that's perfectly it. So the film turns into a body horror flick whereby fucked up shit happens to these people, and none of them react like actual people to it.
Because it's this black goo, which is like some incredibly advanced mutagen, which like rewrites your DNA and creates it creates this enormous snake monster out of a mealworm.
Yeah, well, it's a penis cobra.
Yeah.
It's a vagina cobra penis monster.
Yeah, basically.
That the biologist who ran away from a severed head of a body that's been dead for hundreds of years suddenly reached out to things like, "Hey there, little buddy!"
And it...
"Hey there, old chum!"
fucking crushes his arm and slithers down his throat.
Yeah, so why was he terrified of the dead thing that's been dead for hundreds of years, but was okay going near the scary-looking penis vagina snake?
Also, in terms of evoking that feeling, you get a similar scene to the egg chamber scene in the original Alien, where they're walking in a room full of the containers of black oil.
Yeah, they're like these
like
vases.
Eggs, but not quite eggs.
Yeah, they're sort of rounded and they've got open tops.
They're like tall cylinders, and they're sort of
and one of them touches the goo, and then the goo starts to really mutate him and fuck him up.
No, that's the geologist gets smothered in it later on after the snake melts his helmet onto his face.
Oh, because there's two snakes, isn't there?
Yeah. No, there's one snake.
There's only one snake,
but it spits acid at Fifield.
That's
and it melts his helmet onto his face, and he gets covered in black oil.
Yeah,
and then
it goes down the throat of the other guy.
Arm and just crawls down his throat.
You remember these names? I'm amazed because all I remember is Idris Elba.
Yes.
Charlize Theron, Noomi Rapace.
He is
Lawrence of Arabia man.
But this room of containers also has
mural of Alien Queen.
There's a mural of an Alien Queen and aliens on the wall,
which is now redundant. But we'll get back to that.
And you also see like what appears to be like old camera footage. But it's holograms, because of course it is. These engineers running away from something.
So you know that something has been birthed in here that has terrified even them. Yeah. And is possibly the reason why there is no one here. They fled, or they've all been killed. The only evidence of one they found is the decapitated body of one that was killed by the door. Or possibly something like that got them as they went through the door.
But it definitely got killed by the door.
It's definitely the door. But like all the implications up to that point
they were running
like,
from
something's killed them. Yeah. Later on, you find out that it might be something that they mutated from the goo. So of course, as an Alien fan, you're watching thinking, "Oh God, have they created the alien? Is that what's happened here? Is like has a xenomorph killed them? Because this goo seems to be that snake thing's kind of like a facehugger in the way it operates." Like, it goes down the guy's throat, and, I'm like, okay, so there's a bit of this. Maybe it's that. I wonder. Like, I don't know. Yes, Mrs. Yes.
Madam.
Long story short, people get infected in different ways. Nima Rapace has something that's inside her that I think... Does David put it in there? I'm trying to remember.
It's Holloway, her boyfriend.
Yeah.
David infects him with the black goo
That's
without him
it.
knowing, and he starts to mutate.
Because he's got that weird thing in his eye.
Yeah, the worm in his eye.
Yeah.
And then they have sex.
Of course they
Holloway
do.
and Shaw.
Yeah.
And Shaw gets pregnant, which is weird because she's sterile.
Yeah.
And then Holloway starts to mutate and go mental, and they kill Holloway. And
because there's some deep, meaningful stuff there, if I remember correctly. Like, one of the questions she wants to ask creators is, like, why can't I create life?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's like, oh shit, there is some really deep, cool stuff in here.
There's lots of thematic stuff.
Yeah.
And then... Yeah,
Basically, Ridley Scott read the Bible, got drunk, handed some cliff notes to Damon Lindelof, and turned that into a script.
Yeah, read Chariots of the Gods and was like, oh,
yeah. So she gets pregnant. She goes into
3 months pregnant.
So they say then there's a reveal that Wayland is on there.
No,
wrinkly old Guy Pearce, which is not a twist because you're just like, right,
and then there's
why?
The whole,
and some of the employees know, because that's the thing with Prometheus as well. We only really get to know about 7 of the crew.
Yeah.
The rest are generic Wayland grunts.
Yeah.
Because it turns out they're all involved in this apparent cover-up. Now, there is no reason for him to be there, other than maybe ego. He wants to stare his creator in the face.
He's
and
old,
say,
and he thinks...
what's wrong with him? But they think they could cure him or make him immortal.
They can make him immortal, yeah. Basically.
But, of course, maybe you could just stay at home in stasis because that technology exists and wait for something to be brought back that could save you. But whatever, fine, do this if you want. Famalama ding dong. So, that's really annoying. On top of that, he's brought, like, the ridiculously sophisticated Medipod and all those things.
Which is only programmed for male operations, despite it being in Vickers' private quarters.
Yes.
Which is the first hint that something's weird, but also still makes no sense.
So Shaw uses it to perform an emergency C-section on herself.
Which
that thing that males do.
Well, that's kind of the tension of it. She's like, she has to kind of program it on the fly to be like, do this thing, but doesn't quite know how to do it. But it does do it.
It's freaking horrifying. It's probably the best scene in the movie.
Yeah, hands down.
A machine performs a C-section on her and pulls out a writhing, tentacled beastie that starts to grow bigger the longer it is outside. Like, when it pulled out of her, it's relatively small, and even there, as she's trapped in there with it, waiting for the thing to open, it's getting bigger.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is freaky, and doesn't that look an awful lot like a boneless facehugger? Yeah. It's just a jelly spider thing. This is really horrible.
It's a big squiddy monster.
David starts to fuck shit up. There is the engineer strapped to... There was a dormant engineer in the ship, basically. There was one that's still there.
One in cryosleep.
It awakes and viciously murders David, or it tears David's head off.
It kills everyone.
Wayland, starts murdering peeps left, right and centre.
And it tries to take off.
Yeah. In the ship, of which... Is there 2 ships?
No, there's 1 ship.
It's just the 1 ship. Tries to take off. Don't work.
No, it does work.
Does work?
But then they end up bringing it down.
Right,
somehow.
Oh god.
And...
It collapses and Charlize Theron runs away from a circular thing
this circular
in a
ship
line.
is rolling on the ground and she runs in a right straight line and Numa Rapace rolls to the side. Charlize Theron gets crushed and Numa Rapace doesn't.
Yeah.
The engineer follows her and tries to kill her. And he's like, and then she opens the door where the monster's being held.
Yeah, and so she's obviously like, oh shit, that thing's still in there.
Yeah,
I will trap this thing in there with it, and they will probably kill each other.
No, she lets it out. So it
that's it. Yeah,
and it's like,
and at this point, it is a Japanese schoolgirl's ideal substitute teacher.
Yeah,
and
so many tentacles.
They're just beating the shit out of each other.
Well, they just face it. It
overwhelms him and shoots a cock down his throat.
Yeah.
So it is a facehugger.
Yeah.
She gets in the ship with David, severed head in a bag.
And they're like,
which is still conscious.
Set off for the homeworld.
She's like, everyone's died, it's not going to be in vain. We're going to meet our creators. We're going to go to the homeworld where the ship came from. I want to know what the fuck this is all about. And off they set. And in the post-credit scene, or last bit before the credits, we see the dead squid that has obviously served its purpose. The engineer bursts open and out comes, I think in the notes for the production, it was called
a Deacon.
Is it Deacon? Or was it Protomorph as well? Was it like a name that was doing the rounds?
Protomorph was something that was in the original script.
Because I know in Covenant there is something that's referred to as a Neomorph.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this obviously early or different evolution of what we know as the alien comes out of him, and the film ends. And it ends with us all going, what? Like, we learned nothing. We learned that maybe these guys created humanity.
Yeah.
They now hate humanity.
For reasons.
And it's possible they're making something to wipe species out. It's just like they want to erase their mistakes. But none of this is spelled out. You all kind of have to interpret it from what you see in the movie.
Yeah.
How are they creating what we now know as the xenomorph to wipe out species? Or is that an accident? What were they running from in that footage? Like, there's loads of stuff that's left out. Like, why is Shaw comfortably taking David's head with her when David is the one who put them all in this peril and mostly him by himself?
And as we find out in Covenant and in one of the pre-release things, she fixes him.
Yeah.
She puts his head back on his body.
Yeah. What? Prometheus is a bag of arse. Made hard to attack because so many people defend it because it's a Ridley Scott movie.
Ridley Scott only makes good movies when he's working from a good script.
Perfectly put.
Only makes good movies when he's working from a good script.
Which brings us to Alien
Covenant.
Now, we won't get into spoilers here. I think we'll save that for next week because
we're
people
running
still
quite
want to
long.
see it.
We're running quite long.
Alien Covenant. It's a 2017 motion picture by 20th Century Fox, directed by Ridley Scott.
Let's go to the chase, Chris. What did you think of Alien Covenant?
Alien Covenant is Prometheus 2. It's an extension of Prometheus in as much as it gives little shits about characters, although it's learned from some of its mistakes.
Yeah.
It does not want to answer any questions.
No.
Still, it wants to create new theories which will lead to new questions, and it also wanted to be an alien movie for, I assume, crowd-pleasing reasons because of the reaction to Prometheus and the overwhelmingly positive reaction to the reveal that Neil Blomkamp was working on an Alien sequel to the original series.
Yeah.
That everyone went, oh my god, we want to see that. And then Ridley Scott and his team came in and went, well, hang on, we're still doing our Prometheus follow-up, so we're going to work on that. But because everyone was excited by that, let's make our film an Alien film as well. This isn't an Alien movie. It has the hallmarks of a basic Alien structure in its third act.
A lot of it.
But it's... And to be fair, like, a lot of it does follow the plot of the first Alien.
Yeah.
If you look at the basics of, like, people arrive, they find a thing, they look through the thing,
It reminded me... It echoes the first Alien in a similar way to how The Force Awakens echoed the first Star Wars. But... not very well.
Yeah.
Like, done poorly.
So, a team led by James Franco's captain.
Well,
that's not a spoiler. It's in the prequel, like, short film thing.
Not for long.
It's a colonization mission. They're taking over 2,000 humans in stasis to a new planet that they have found. It's a 8-year journey, I believe.
Yeah, something like that.
At regular but very far apart intervals, the main crew, who are like roughly a group of about 12 individuals, are woken up to...
No, they only get woken up because the shit...
I thought the implication was like they'd be woken up at like a couple of key stages on the journey just to make sure...
They got woken up because it needs to make repairs.
Oh, yeah.
It was an emergency.
But they definitely flew the mission out first, didn't they? Like, they went to hypersleep after everyone else did. So like they're the ones who've run this shit show. They have got 2,000 frozen people and like 200 frozen embryos or something like that.
Yeah.
As well. So they're going to go off and they're going to go to this planetoid that they've done all the research for. They're woken up in an emergency by their onboard ship computer mother.
And the synthetic
Walter, who looks like he is the renegade sort of version of the conveyor belt of David.
He's David.
Like, he's David, basically. But he's not David. Like, he's... Yeah. And it sort of implies something I didn't really like, which is at some point in the Alien franchise, they made these robots look the same, which I suppose would make sense to a degree. Like, especially if you're looking at the logic of, like, the Working Joe stuff in Isolation and things like that, and the fact that Bishop, the implication that maybe there's more than one, they all look the same. But... either way, it's like, okay, so David didn't work. David was like the personal one of Wayland, and it wasn't right. So here's a better version that is less prone to do some horrible stuff and is really perfectly pleasant. And Fassbender is the best thing about this movie in that, yes, he plays two characters, And yes, because you see flashbacks to David and Wayland at the beginning of the movie, so I get a sense of why the story.
Fucking long flashback opening, which should have been cut and used in viral marketing, and they should have put the Last Supper viral marketing bit at the start of this film, then had a fucking time jump. That's what they should have done with this movie. Because, oh my god, that opening scene goes on for fucking ever!
But Guy Pearce had to earn his check, you know?
Jesus.
So that's your connection to Prometheus, boys and girls. Like, this is definitely a continuation of that story. They're woken up on emergency by Walter and Mother, the onboard computer, because something has damaged the exterior of the ship. And while they're out and about, they pick up a distress signal from a world which may or may not have a breathable atmosphere like the planetoid they were going to. And it's about 4 years earlier than planned.
It's apparently a better match.
Yeah, like it's
a much better match than the planet they had staked out.
If the world they were going to was like 90% perfect, this is like 95. It's there. So under duress from some of them, specifically one crew member, our lead, sort of, if the posters are to be believed, Danny, she's called it. She's Daniels.
Daniels, yeah.
They head down to this planetoid. They discover that this planetoid has human vegetation, but it also has certain, what's it called? What are they called? Not microbes. What are they? Genome stuff. What would it be called? I don't know. It's got certain, it's sort of got certain bacterial life on it.
Yeah.
That reacts with human hosts. So life that has just sat there in pods and in water and everything that's done nothing, but now it has something to live in, it starts to respond. There's also someone living on this planetoid inside the remains of a certain horseshoe-shaped ship. Well, the horseshoe-shaped ship's there, and then there's like a city nearby.
An ancient city.
I think I'm going to say it because I want to give people... I don't want to give spoilers, but I do want to give you guys a heads up if you want to go see this movie. I want to reassure you this is definitely a Prometheus sequel and not an Alien movie.
Yeah.
The person living on the planetoid is David from Prometheus. I won't go much further than that. I think that's a good place to leave it, because you know what you're going to get now.
There are alien-like creatures and an alien.
Yeah, at some point you will see, close to the alien we know, the xenomorph. Because it's not quite there, is it? So it's a lot more. It's a lot more insectoid.
And neither's the CGI.
Hey! Now, there is a physical performer for a lot of the alien creatures in this. There is a creature known as the Neomorph, which you've seen in the trailers, the fleshy-looking thing. There's a couple of them. And that and the Xenomorph, brackets, S bracket, are played by... I can't remember the actor's name, it's Havy or something. But he's the dude who does a lot of physical creature stuff in recent years, like Crimson Peak, he was all the ghosts.
Yeah.
He was the Crooked Man in Conjuring Part 2. And he does a lot of work as... he's that guy who did cosplay as Finn from Adventure Time that went viral because it was hilarious. Because he obviously picked on the fact that he is not the right proportion for the characters to do it. Because he's like 7'9" and really skinny. So it just looked adorable. It was like, that is a cool he's like one of the two Finn cosplayers that have become notorious. Obviously the one being
Future Finn.
Future Finn, like the big muscly bearded guy. Which I think made it into an episode, didn't it, eventually? Possibly. I think they had like a visual nod to it at some point. Like, yay, there he is! But yeah, he delivers some great performance stuff as the creatures, but it does look like they have favoured motion capture to practical in some shots, because the CGI doesn't necessarily lend the same real, plausible terror that the older films in this series does. It does feel like you are watching a CGI creature sometimes chasing after people.
Why the fuck didn't they get ADI to do it?
That's a very good question, actually. ADI's relationship ended with these movies with Requiem. Because when... AVP Requiem. We'll talk about those movies another day, believe me. But because they didn't do Predators either. Robert Rodriguez got a different company in to do Predators.
Well, they've not got the same history they have with Predator. They have with Alien.
Oh no, but considering their Predator work on it, because I think the Predator designs and animatronics are pretty gorgeous in the two AVP movies.
Yeah, the Predator part of that is definitely the stronger part of those movies.
But I think they've sort of almost been uncoupled from that franchise, because AVP was still sort of seen at that point as the same thing. Aliens and Predators are all part of the same boat. Yeah. So, which is a shame. But then again, based on the 2011 thing, like ADI can be overridden to be mostly visual effects rather than practical nowadays, based on the director.
Those puppets were the thing, though. Oh,
they were beautiful.
Those practical effects were gorgeous.
So I watched all the George Rockwell Schmidt stuff about it, and it's just like, oh, they looked amazing, and you can tell how annoyed, like, Tom Woodruff Jr. and Alec Gillis are about it all. Because it was them, I think, it was still their department who did the visual stuff, and they've had to expand their effects department to focus on CGI now. So they're still practical house, but they also have to have an equally large team of CGI artists, and it's just so upsetting.
Harvey did down, Craig.
I know.
But yes,
visually again, this movie is stunning, but some of the CGI feels slightly out of place now that we have faster moving creatures and beasties compared to Prometheus. The acting across the board, I think everyone's quite likeable. No one stands out as a dud, I think, in this movie. I think they're all quite enjoyable to watch. There are a lot of characters that they will kill off in ways that seem like they're meant to be big and shocking, but you don't get to know those characters enough to give a shit. There is one visual effect shot of an item floating in a well, which they were clearly so proud of they used about 8 times in the space of 5 minutes. And I think, I think the opening's intriguing. I think the body horror in the second act is good, but the plot sort of falls apart there a bit. Yes. And then I think the third act's fine until you realise that it is just an alien movie rushed into 25 minutes.
Yes.
And not done particularly well.
No.
Don't be fooled by the posters saying from the director of The Martian and Alien, because those two movies are a different class from this one.
Yeah, and it's all to do with the script.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
This wants to be an alien movie, but it's a Prometheus film because it focuses on creationism, the creationist theory, and where we came from, and like what does it mean to be alive, and when a species has supposedly run its purpose, like should we cancel it out, or it's just it's too lofty for a movie that also wants to be an alien film.
It's equal parts.
Alien is terrifying because it's simple.
It's equal parts.
Aliens is terrifying because it's simple.
Alien monster movie and quiet, contemplative think piece on the nature of humanity and playing the flute.
Yeah. Let me do the fingering.
You hold it, I'll do the fingering. What were they thinking?
I don't think they were.
When they wrote that piece of dialogue. The whole cinema just sniggered.
It was hilarious.
It's the loudest snigger I've ever heard in my life, because it just had an entire cinema full of people just go.
We turn it into a scene of Tim Curry's.
And that's a pretty universal reaction to it from what I at that particular moment. Like,
the memes are on their way, my friends.
Oh, God.
Reasons to check it out. Fassbender is very entertaining as always, and it's nice to see him play two characters, especially playing opposite each other.
Yeah, and he does do the fingering.
Yeah, he does. If you like your body horror, there's definitely some decent body horror in this movie. If you like your spaceships to feel realistic and gritty and freaky, like Alien and stuff, some the actual spaceships and everything are pretty cool. They've moved on from, it's set a few years after Prometheus, so they've moved on technology-wise to the point where this is a bit more commonplace. Because in Prometheus it was a bit shiny in places.
They
still.
say it went missing 10 years ago, but then stuff that happens in the movie indicates that it must have been more than 10 years ago.
Yeah, well, it happened 10 years ago, but they've also been in hypersleep for some of that time, so maybe they're talking about 10 years prior to when they set off. I don't know. So there's that. Do you get any answers for Prometheus? One, you find out what became of Shaw and David. So you get that, I suppose.
But there's still a fucking enormous gap.
Yeah, if you're looking for answers about the engineers, by the end of this movie you realise, they're not going to bother. They're not going to bother telling that story.
And they really should. Because I think a more interesting movie would have been...
Where have we come from? It would have been 10 times more interesting, a place to go. Danny McBride shows that he could probably do quite well in dramatic roles.
I enjoyed seeing Danny McBride in a serious role. I think he's fucking great in this.
James Franco is distracting. Not his performance, but just his presence. What does he smell like?
Barbecue.
Unwashed promises. He smells like
Burnt
that
bacon.
sock that you only wore for a couple of hours. Like you had a lazy day and you only wore a sock for a couple of hours when you went out to do the food shop. Somehow it's fallen down the back of the couch. You've missed it. It's not particularly stinky, but it accumulates the stink of a few weeks worth of time before you find it and you go, is this dirty? And you bring it to your nose because it looks clean. You bring it to your nose and you take a sniff. That is what James Franco smells like.
That's what this movie smells like.
That's very true. I'll give it if we're doing the star rating, 2 stars. Like, it's...
Yeah, 2 stars.
There's enough to hold your interest, but you will come out of it going, and you'll probably want to just watch Alien or Aliens again.
Yeah. It's not the Alien sequel you're looking for.
No. Wait, tell you where you go. Where would you put it in your Alien ranking? Off the top of your head. No thought before this, ladies and gentlemen. Which one have you got? So it's like, discounted AVP, you've got the 4 Alien flicks, Prometheus and Alien Covenant.
I think it's technically a better movie in terms of craft than Resurrection.
Yes.
And 3. And Prometheus.
So it'd be 3rd. That's a weird thought, isn't it?
But I enjoy Resurrection and 3 a lot more.
Yeah. Yes.
So
okay.
I would put it 5th out of 6.
Yeah, I agreed. Prometheus is at the back end for me, with Alien Covenant just ahead of it by a margin.
Because this does fix a lot of what's wrong with Prometheus, but all the problems it has.
Well, the problem is it relies on Prometheus existing to exist.
Yeah.
So it's
So the problems it's got, it's inherited from Prometheus.
Speaking of inherited problems, you guys have emailed in. What have you said, you swines?
We do need to get into Covenant spoilers next week, though, because I want to tear it.
We could give you a chance to see it if you haven't already, and then we will stick a knife in it. We will clutch its face, stick our penile tubes down its throat, and lay our problems in its chest.
Like, the more I think about it after having seen it, the less I like it.
When we finished it, I was
like,
when we finished in the cinema, I was like, I didn't like it, and you went, I don't know. And I remember you saying, like, as we parted that night, you were like, I need to think about it a bit more, but it was alright. And then you texted me like 2 days later and said, the more I think about it, the more I hate it.
Yeah, right.
Summed it up beautifully.
But yes, emails.
Emails for the mind.
We've got another one from Cannon Smallwood.
Oh dear. Hello, Cannon.
If
that is indeed your real view.
I have written you another song.
Oh, God.
To be sung to the tune of Hickory Dickory Dock.
Sure.
And in true Doctor Who style, I will follow up with a clue as to my real identity.
I think I know who it is.
Hickory Dickory Dock.
Oh.
This week was a pile of cock. The clock struck 8, it wasn't great. Hickory Dickory Dock. Tick tock, tick tock, wibbly wobbly bill. Oxygen wasn't brill. 10 minutes in, I reached for the gin, wibbly wobbly bill. Tick tock, spacey wacy nod. I want this episode bad. It was too grim. Where's John Sim? Spacey wacy nod. Tick tock, humany womany moth. I turned the episode off. Graham Norton came on and my hatred was gone. Humany womany moth. Hickory dickory squee. Oh, who darling could I be? I'll give you a clue. I like Doctor Who. Hickory dickory squee. Thank you, Cannon Smallwood.
I don't know if I endorse that view or not. Yeah, Oxygen, let's get our thoughts out there, because I know y'all want to know.
Oxygen! I didn't mind it. It's no thin ice, and it might be the weakest episode of the series, but it's still better than 90% of the last series.
I like the idea.
I love the political edge to it.
Me too, but I didn't like the way the episode was just, we defeated capitalism. Hurrah! Do you know what I mean?
I think even Jane Mathison has turned around and gone, yeah.
I think we're going to drop us off at head office. I think we have a few complaints to make. I think they're going to get to head office, and then head office are going to shoot them so that they don't tell anyone. This isn't a victory.
That'll be what sparks the revolution.
I wanted that as an epilogue. I want the final scene of the episode to them to be like, well, you've got a complaint, and the person at the desk just takes a gun out and just shoots them both in their head. Then he's like, oh, that's never going to get out. Okay, keep selling oxygen to people.
But I think even Jenny Matheson has turned around and said, yeah, that might have been a bit heavy-handed.
It's too late now, though, isn't it?
But no, I like
the idea. I like the idea of spacesuits walking on their own, performing functions with the corpses of people inside them. That belongs in a
creepy concept.
That belongs in either a horror film or a video game. Like it's I mean, like that's something you think you'd find somewhere else.
Games probably would have done that.
Maybe. Well, I just like the idea of the suit. Like the suits are continuing their duty, but it wasn't duties in this. They were stalking people. But I'd like the idea if you found a spaceship where the suits have continued to work, and the bodies have just happened to be in the suit still. That'd be nice and morbid. I think some of the prosthetics were nice of people's decayed faces, and the fact that some of them were swollen and bloated.
They've got new spacesuits, finally.
Yeah, well, jeez.
New spacesuit props.
Like the helmet design. Like sort of the spotted glass kind of look to it. Because it was glass, but it sort of looked plasticky. It looked like the kind of thing you'd just pull out of a pocket and woof, there it is, which is what they did.
Yeah, which was quite nice.
So that was cool. Nardole was weirdly my favourite thing about it.
They did a deep retool on his character. Like, this is not the same character that was in Wizards of River Song.
But they sort of imply that as well. Yeah. They're implying that he's been made to be on top of the Doctor's shit. Like
I think it's Nardole's head.
The Doctor, either the one that we're following or one somewhere else, because he keeps saying, like, you told me to do this. And he's like, oh yeah. It's like, I don't think he's being forgetful. I think another Doctor has put him on this.
I think
possibly the one in the vault, David Bradley.
I think Nardole. I'm Nardole. I think it's still a stupid fucking name. I think he's become bittered and cynical after his beheading. Because he's definitely got an edge to him that wasn't there before.
Yeah, he's not the character we met, arguably even the first 2 times, never mind just the first time.
Yeah.
And it's working out. I never thought in a million years I'd say my favourite thing about that episode was Nardole. But it was. Bill's alright. Like, she was a little annoying for me this week. But I think that's because the episode was sort of written for whoever was the companion, as it were. Like, whoever was the companion was just going to... It was sort of like a fill-in-a-blanks episode, which felt weird after we'd spent so much of the last 4 weeks getting to know her specifically. Felt a bit weird.
Yeah.
But Paul Mackey was alright. Peter Capaldi's clearly having fun. I don't like the twist.
Yeah, the blindness thing is really strange.
Even if... not just because it brings back the frickin' Sonic sunglasses.
I just don't understand why they did a fake out.
There's no point.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. But I guess
if they wanted to do a fake out, do a whole... Like, it comes back and it's like, oh, cool, you're going to repair your vision now. About that, what? I lied. I can't fix this. And it's not going away. I think I'm blind for good. Like, that'd be more of a twist than... I'm not blind. I'm still blind. Don't tell her. Do you know what I mean? It's just weird. Again, like, why is that the twist? After 2 really strong endings, 2 or 3 really strong endings in a row of, what is in this vault? Like, to suddenly make this how this week ended was kind of stupid. It's just like, oh, alright. But it's part of a loose trilogy, apparently.
So I guess that'll be a running theme for the next couple of episodes.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll end up getting it back. Who knows?
Yeah. I didn't love it.
Maybe he'll just regenerate.
I didn't love it, but there was enough in there for me to go, alright.
Yeah, it was alright.
I think the best way to describe this series so far is it's very much like Series 7. In that there's some good stuff in there. Solid, yeah. But it's still not, like, great. It's just, yeah, I'm having fun this year. Yeah.
I'm certainly having more fun than I did last year. I actually watched the whole season.
Well, actually, last year we had a lot of fun because we didn't bloody have any.
That season, I should say. Fucking hell.
Oh, mince.
Luke, the ginger fan. Apparently. Hey, big damn gang, I'm back to take over your podcast with my absolutely bonkers questions. Once again, I have answered each and every one myself.
Fair enough.
I am interviewing Matt Lucas for my own podcast. Nice.
Really? Nicely done.
The Bottle O podcast, available on YouTube and SoundCloud. Plug.
Is it Matt Lucas, or is it the severed head of Matt Lucas attached to a new body?
It's Nardole. I was wondering whether you have any appropriate questions.
Is it Dan Sharrett with ping pong ball eyes?
Maybe. I was wondering whether you have any appropriate questions for me to ask him, as many of my listeners are in our early teens.
Okay. Appropriate questions to ask him.
Why?
Just why?
Why?
No, I think if you're talking specifically related to Doctor Who, for example, my question would probably be: Did he choose to approach Nardole slightly differently for this series, or was it sort of a mixture of the writers wanting to do something different with the character?
Yeah.
And like the fact the character was going to be around for a lot more than one story, because obviously Nardole was very much a comedy character in his original appearance. Like he was meant to just be sort of a comic relief, oddball, and now
there was no relief in any of that comedy.
No, but like
it was a comic, like it was a comic imposition.
But what I mean is,
it was holding you hostage with its scare quotes comedy.
What I mean is, the character was written as comedian guest stars in the Christmas special, silly role, daft lines thing.
Oh,
but in the series so far, he's been one of the things that I've actually enjoyed.
He's been playing it relatively straight, actually.
So what I want to know is, Nardole's character shift, was it his choice, or was it a conscious choice of the writers, and he was as surprised as we were to see it being different? Outside of that, my other question is, if I pay you £100, will you come to my next birthday party dressed as Georgie Dawes and just play the drums all night and give people points?
Yeah.
We love you, baked potato.
My question is, can we have another series of Shooting Stars with George Dawes, please?
That would be great. No offence to Angelos Epithemu, but there's just something about a man in a giant baby onesie.
I just love George Dawes.
Playing the drums.
What are the scores of George Dawes? Second question.
Question the second.
Spoil all of Torchwood as quick as you can.
Some characters you care about take part in stories that aren't always worth your time, and a bunch of them die. Just watch Countryside and Children of Earth if you can't be bothered watching all of it. There you go.
Alright, I'm going to go for it. Gwen stumbles across Torchwood, replaces a dead one. Dead one comes back. Death itself comes back. Kill the dead one. Kill Death.
Giant rock vagina.
Owen dies. Comes back. Jack's brother is a thing. Everyone dies. Apart from Yanto. Then aliens want children. Government sells children to aliens. Yanto dies. Jack's no longer immortal. Gwen's a mum. Jack's immortal again. Because I didn't finish that series.
Giant rock vagina. Giant rock vagina. There's a giant rock vagina.
This was Luke's attempt.
Okay.
Gwen discovers Torchwood. Susie dies. Gwen replaces Susie. Dies again. Jack leaves. Jack comes back. Gwen's boyfriend discovers Torchwood. We find out Jack lost his brother and Beauchene. Owen and Tosh die. All the children on Earth speak in unison. Gwen is pregnant. Frobisher dies. Jack sacrificed children back in the 60s. Yanto dies. No one can die. Jack is mortal. Some weird thing in the Earth caused it. Esther dies. Cool, that was longer than I expected.
Some weird thing in the Earth is the giant rock vagina.
Giant rock vagina. Awesome.
I would recommend, if you've never seen it, I would recommend watching Torchwood. Because there is stuff in there to enjoy.
Have any of you watched Community?
And Children of Earth is phenomenal. I watched the first 10 episodes of Community, realised I didn't need to watch any more of it, but I can see why people like it.
I've tried to watch Community and bounced off it a couple of times. It's never really grabbed me. But I hear people love it.
The thing, I admire them greatly, especially for that, you heard about the Beetlejuice thing they did.
Mm.
They made a Beetlejuice reference in one episode, they made another Beetlejuice reference in a later episode, then they made a third Beetlejuice reference each time they say Beetlejuice, and the third reference, in the back of shot, faintly, Beetlejuice, appears in the corridor. And it's not noticeable unless you sort of, watch the corner of the frame where your focus isn't meant to be. So essentially, they went Beetlejuice, 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 and Beetlejuice appears.
Brilliant.
That is a great running joke. That is a well thought out, long running joke. But apart from that, I just couldn't do it.
It's clearly quite well written, but I've just never had the time to sit down and watch a bunch of it. Luke loves it. Have any of you listened to the Doctor Who themed rock band Chameleon Circuit? Luke has. Luke really likes them.
I'm glad you like them, Luke. That's all I'm saying. I think the sting. I think the rhythm, the hook of an awful lot of running is quite funny, but then quite good. But then you realise it's just the Doctor Who theme tune in a slightly different tone. So you're like, oh, so they didn't even come up with that. Also, aren't half of them sex offenders?
I'm not a huge fan of themed rock bands. I'll leave it at that.
Cold-blooded! John Baptiste and the Stay Human there, everybody.
Sorry, this email was rather long, but actually I don't have a reason. Goodbye.
Fair enough.
Farewell. Cheerio. Ta-ta.
So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, ta-ta.
P.S. I added a P.S. to make this email longer. Quite like
Swine.
that. Lewis Christian.
As I live and breathe.
He sent us a video link.
As I live and eat brie.
He sent us a video link. Estonia not qualifying for the Eurovision Live final is the most upsetting thing this year. Don't you agree? And then a link to a YouTube video.
Now, did you watch Eurovision this year?
No.
I found myself completely suckered in. I watched the whole damn thing. It was the least.
What are we watching
It was the
here?
least cheesy Eurovision, and it was kind of wonderful.
What are we watching here?
What is this? What?
This is the video that Lewis has sent us. It's Quit Tomb and Laura, Verona, 80s version. Eurovision Estonia 2017.
So this didn't make it in?
Apparently not.
What on earth?
I don't know what this is.
What?
But is this something that Lewis has sent us? This is pretty good.
What is going on?
I quite like this. I love those dirty synths.
You can't call them that. What's the twist? There's got to be a twist.
There's got to be a
here.
twist. No, this is just a 4.5 minute long song that Lewis sent us.
Christ.
And he says he thinks it's a tragedy Estonia didn't qualify.
I'm glad you gave us context, but at the same time, what on earth? What is it?
What is this? I was quite enthused. I say enthused, amused. I was quite amused by the fact that this was supposed to be, this Eurovision Song Contest was supposed to be celebrating diversity, and everyone was white.
Did you see the opening film?
No.
The opening film was all about that, like the pre-shot thing.
Yeah.
Everybody featured in the opening film was white. Every single person.
Everyone is
Now,
white.
I know technically song contest you could be celebrating diversity specifically regarding music. You want to cover different musical styles, but they were all the generic Eurovision pop songs, so there wasn't even that. But obviously the message you're meant to put out there is celebrating diversity in all aspects of life and culture and art.
Yeah.
It was just a bunch of white people singing shit pop songs. That was it!
Like this shit pop song.
Oh, God.
I don't know if this is a shit pop song, though.
It's a bit bland.
For Eurovision, this is fucking...
Yeah, but if you want to capture my imagination at Eurovision, you've got to wear shit tons of prosthetics and perform as a monster rock band.
Oh, God.
That's when I'll pay attention.
I can't listen to any more of this.
Yeah, you
Lewis,
can. You're gonna put this on a loop when you get home and dance to
why
it in
are
the
you doing
shower.
this to us? But that's it. That's the whole of Lewis's thoughts.
I don't endorse that view.
Finally, we have an email from Ian.
Yarn cough medicine with clout.
And it's going to come in a voice.
Oh.
Are you ready for the voice?
Wait, just let me prepare myself. Go.
Dear Nostalwit, I was going to write my email for last week, but I took too long and didn't send it in time. Such a coincidence that someone made theirs into a song.
What?
Aliens is on my list of perfect films. No matter when it's on, I'll watch it. It's my heart's favourite movie ever. And she remembers after seeing it in the cinema getting a sticker saying, I survived Aliens. I adore the teaser posters for Alien Covenant. The one with the egg. It's my favourite. My 50-word review, as it was very good, It's on my list of taste of the era. What?
Was that Matthew breaking character there for a second?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, this is about
It's like I didn't think question himself mid-paragraph. What?
This one's about Knock Knock.
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
Haunted house.
Yes.
But the most creative one we've had. Effects beautiful. If the CGI was bad, I'll forgive its basicness. Wish people had been taken into the wood instead of eaten. Suche excellent. Wish we had more of him. And DWM spoiled what the lies look like. 8 out of 10. My review of Oxygen. Out of 10. That was my review.
Matt exhale out of 10.
Due to
We're not paying you for this script, by the way.
Due to extremists?
Come again?
The pyramid at the end of the world and the lie of the land being a kind of 3-parter. I'll save my reviews until the last one. But thoughts beforehand. The photo of the monks on DWM looks so organically burned. Extremists! Brilliant idea, but it is Moffat. And it does have Missy in it, so the trailer looks great, but it's going to be super crammed. Pyramid at the end of the world. Brilliant title.
I mean, I've purposely not.
But that will be the only good thing. Harness is so heavy-handed.
I've purposely not read the synopsis of
the lie of the land.
I mean, I don't know what it's about.
It's Whithouse, so it will be very interesting.
I don't know what you're talking. What is this? Toby being you in Whithouse. I don't.
What 3 90s movies are your favourite?
Wait, what? What? What?
What's your favourite Tunnux product?
Jurassic Park, triple bill with Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park. There we go.
Favourite 90s movies. I don't know, because there was a lot of movies that came out in the 90s. That's a really big question.
Jurassic Park, Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. And...
GoldenEye.
No, GoldenEye's not that good.
Invincible.
The Mummy.
Yeah.
The Mummy's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good film.
And Jurassic Park. What's your favourite Tunnux product, Chris? There's more questions after this.
Favourite what product?
Tunnux product.
What the hell is a Tunnux?
You know they make the caramel bars? You know that come in the golden red wrapper?
No.
Oh, I have a Tunnux I'll bring some Tunnux caramels around next time we do a podcast.
Really like caramel.
Oh, mate, it's good.
I'll eat one live for the sake of...
I'll bring you some next time.
For the sake of nonsense.
For some
I've eaten a dog biscuit live on television. I'll eat anything for comedy.
Tunnux is tasty.
Oh,
that's not the actual title. That's just one I made up because I'm good like that. Back to the email. Sorry.
Henderson's relish tastes right on out.
In lots of shows.
Oh my god! How long is this email?
There's an episode about an evil parallel universe where everyone's in black and has some evil scar or a haircut or eye patch or something. If you're evil, what would be your evil look?
What's like if we met our alternate universe counterpart, for example? It was the evil, stereotypical Star Trek style.
Like the Mirror Universe Spock has a stash and an evil Brigadier has an eye patch.
Yes, he does. I think evil me would probably have a full beard, and I know that's like an archetypal one of the facial hair of some kind, but I can't grow a good beard or mustache or anything. So I think evil me would at least have that one up on me. You would have like a full. I think you'd have a full Fu Manchu style mustache.
I would have
And he'd collect his separate beards and keep them in jars just to mock me. Be like, look, I grew that one last week.
I would have sexy high boots. And nothing else.
If you...
Evil!
If you didn't do this podcast with each other, who would you have done it with?
I wouldn't have done it with anyone else. Big Damn Cast is us two. It's a stupid answer.
Yes, that is a silly question.
Failing that, Matt's evil universe counterpart in High Boots and nothing else.
I might start doing some other... I've got some other ideas for solo projects, but they wouldn't be in the same sort of genre as Big Damn Cast.
Yeah.
So...
This is its own thing.
This is its own thing.
Baby cakes. I mean, in terms of, like, us doing other stuff, I'm sure, like, we'll dip into other things and try other stuff as well, but, like, Big Damn Cast, it's us.
Big Damn as a concept was something we've been wanting to do for a long time, so, yeah.
Now, a crossover, that's not a bad idea.
That's not a bad idea. A crossover podcast. Hitler's gonna tear you apart like warm bread. Sorry. Get out, Eddie Izzard! What have I told you about coming into the podcast?
I'm covered in bees!
Finally.
My theory about what's in the vault. I've got a theory. It's a demon. A dancing demon.
Not written that.
That's not right there.
Oh, God. You actually wrote that.
Can I just say,
You wrote that.
It gives me great joy to make Chris weep like a baby, laughing so much.
Not laughing.
Here's my picture of what I think you both get up to after the podcast.
Oh, good Lord, what does that say? It just says censored. This is censored.
From Ian.
That's true, we do censor things.
We do
after
censor
the podcast.
things. Censorship!
Somebody covers chin, it looks like balls.
But no censorship today. No, sir.
No, sir.
We're diving into our big bag of 1001 of 10,000 PlayStation 2 cheats, even though it's not actually 10,000 PlayStation 2 cheats. It's 10,000 PlayStation 2 and PlayStation cheats because there's some PlayStation 1 stuff in here.
Maybe they consulted 10,000 PlayStation 2s and asked them what their favourite cheats were.
What's been our most requested cheat today? Game for cheats, Christopher.
I don't.
Give me a letter. Give me a letter.
Aliens versus Predator Extinction.
I don't. Is that in here?
Probably not.
Let's have a look.
It's a PS2 game.
It is a PS2 game. It depends how
it wasn't very good either. It's where I learned about the different classes of alien, though.
Which is all non-canon now.
Yeah.
Are we? No, that's PS1. That's
Alien Trilogy. Alien Trilogy.
No, I don't want to do Alien Trilogy.
Alien Resurrection.
Yeah, maybe. I was just checking there's no...
Predator Concrete Jungle.
Oh, there is Alien vs Predator Extinction.
What the shit?
Yeah.
I should have known that one actually had the damn thing.
Okay.
Right now, there's a lot. I mean, there's... Oh my God, there are so many.
Here it is.
There are so many.
Here it is. It's the cheat corner once again. This week, Alien vs Predator Extinction for the PlayStation 2 computer entertainment system.
Is that what it was called?
No. Code.
Yes.
That's all it says. Just says code.
All right.
Pause the game and input this code. You ready?
Yeah.
R2, R2, L2, R2, L2, L2, R2, L2, R2, R2, L2, R2, L2, L2, R2, L2. Cheat menu.
So it opens up a cheat menu?
Yeah.
That's it?
That's it.
That's all... What?
That's all it does.
I feel cheated.
Pause the game and input this code.
Did you get that, kids?
Did you get it, kids?
We ain't repeating it.
Did you get it, kids?
Did you get it, kids?
Did you get it? Did you get it? Did you get it, kids? Let's see what's Alien Resurrection. I used to have Alien Trilogy on the Saturn.
I've got it on the PS1.
Oh my God, there's so many passwords for Alien Trilogy. I got pink acid boots on is the classic one. All the weapons, limited firepower, invincibility, and access to every level. Enter this password. 1 GOT
oh God.
PINK 8C1DBOOTSON.
So big.
I am not going to read out all those passwords.
Do you know what I think? What needs to happen is if you want to live to see another day, I think we need to do is you need to save yourselves by following Big Damn Cast on Twitter.
Which section?
You could email us bigdamncontacts@gmail.com.
Xenomania, I see.
You could also join us for a cheeky bit of fun over on YouTube. The Big Damn channel is where we post videos, regular content. Latest episode of Big Damn Love was an Alien episode from Matt, which is worth giving a watch. So do check that one out. And this weekend we've got a special little treat from me. First theme park ride to be featured in Big Damn Love. So hope you enjoy that. You could also, of course, if you're not listening to us on iTunes, you listen to us on YouTube. We're both. So
Alien Resurrection,
we'll speak to you next week.
Menu, you go to options screen, you press circle, left,
I love you all very dearly.
Up R2. A new cheat menu option will appear below.
If you find this, please tell my wife and children that I love them too.
The starting level and turn on infinite ammo,
God.
infinite health, no
chest
burst,
God.
And no drone!